The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Well, hello again. And you know, I was right about Monday. Monday was the thinnest news day of the year because we are back to drinking from a fire hose, and I am excited about it. We got so many things. People talked to the media and said stuff. You know, I can't believe they ask these players questions about their future.
Why don't they leave them alone?
Why don't they just leave them alone?
Hi, I'm extremely interested in this sport, and I want you to leave all of them alone.
Their job is not to talk to you. It's written in their contract. No. Anyway, hi.
Welcome back, Gannon clan. It's great to see you.
Steve's wearing his Barracuda Gannon LaRock jersey, which he got directly from the Barracuda when we were there in the spring.
Yeah.
And we did not know what a piece of history it would be. You should wear that in Montreal the next time we're there.
I should. Well, I don't know. Leaf fans might turn on me because I'd be wearing a Habs jersey.
Ah, true.
Technically.
Good point.
I think we should send it to him and get him to sign it and then send it back to us.
Legit.
I think it'd be awesome.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Do you think we can have him on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
third question?
My question. What's my third question? Hey, how are you?
That's what I want to hear.
Hey, that was pretty cool. Yeah, listen. What's next?
What's your
next?
third question? That's a great chirp.
You know what?
That's very good.
I've always thought a good read or a good book for somebody like Ken Reid to write would be I Was Traded for a Superstar. So like, you know, Ken Reid has like the One Night Only book or whatever, but there were guys in like the Wayne Gretzky trade that didn't play very much or
at all.
You know, the Peter Forsberg, Eric Lindros trade that didn't play very much. And it's sort of like, or at all. So I would love to like, okay, so you got the news and whatever. And that's not enough for one person to write a book on, but it is enough for a chapter.
You guys combined, just shout it out, have 10 seconds to name the guy the Vegas Golden Knights traded for Marc-Andre Fleury. Go.
Oh my gosh. No.
slightest
You're asking the wrong people.
Yeah.
Who is it?
3, 2, 1. I don't know either.
Oh my goodness.
He's a Finnish guy.
No, I don't think. There was a Finnish guy. I thought it was just. I thought it was literally just future
No, he's
consideration.
a Finnish guy.
Well, that narrows it down a lot. There's not that many Finnish.
Hardikainen. It's
Hakanakanen.
yeah, I think you're close.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm not even kidding. I think you're close.
Are you saying to the Golden Knights or like to Chicago? Like
He was traded from Chicago to Vegas, I believe.
It's Mikael Hakkarainen.
Oh,
you were
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's not even. That's so ridiculous.
Hardikainen's close too. Leaf legend.
Do we have his name?
There's there's the trade there.
Hakkarainen. I want to know what that guy's all about.
Can we find out what Michael Hakkarainen's doing?
Yeah.
Sure. Let Jesse find.
Just give me 5 or 10 minutes
Yes.
so I can type his.
Yeah,
name.
don't.
It's difficult.
Once you get used to the double Ks, Finnish is not that hard to spell in English, like Finnish names.
No.
Like, listen,
Pronounce yes.
let's be honest. Speaking Finnish is a whole different thing.
They might have the best patience with us of any nationality.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
who listens to
Every
the show?
name that we pronounce is wrong.
Yeah, and they'll
yeah.
reach out and just be like, that was incorrect. Here's how you say
But
it.
everybody is incorrect.
Yeah.
All right, so Hakkarainen has not played hockey. We can go through his elite prospects page. Has not played hockey since 2022.
What?
He's playing over in Finland, played a little in Sweden.
Traitor.
Before that, in 2020, 2021, he played for the Indy Fuel
Of the ECHL?
of the ECHL. That's fun. The Rockford Ice Hogs. And then, went back and forth there. Played a little Providence College. But, it looks like not playing hockey right now.
Muskegon Lumberjacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what their jersey looks like.
The minor leagues
it
and
is.
junior leagues have some really good names.
This is somebody who gets to say that I was traded for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
That's
I
pretty
think that
cool.
is it. I do not think that's an interesting story.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Ken Reid, if you're listening, and I know you are, there you go.
all we ask
Let me do the
is
forward.
for one free copy.
Yeah.
Because Adam doesn't want it. Because
No, I want the audiobook.
it would take up space in his house.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Jesse.
No, I thought the copy was for me. I thought you wanted the audio one.
I want the
You know what? Shit.
I'm not sitting
audio
around
one,
reading
too.
a book. I got the audiobook.
I do.
I'll take the copy.
Hey, so one thing I forgot to get to last episode, and I think this is horrific and wrong, and I did you a disservice,
I'm going to beat you up.
the SDP audience. And that is the Ridly Greig Bobblehead night
Oh, yeah.
for the Ottawa Senators. Now, I have to say that this drew a lot of attention, as it was meant to. And Ridly Greig, the specific moment that they're using is the slap shot on the empty net against the Leafs, which then led to Morgan Rielly cross-checking him in the head, and Morgan Rielly got a 5-game suspension.
Yes.
And, I think personally, like a lot of people like, oh, that's loser, blah, 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 especially because it's not going to be against the Leafs. Mm-hmm. But I think this is exactly what the Senators ought to be doing.
So
this is brilliant marketing and good for them.
Not doing it against the Leafs is actually brilliant.
Yeah, because there'd be a lot of Leaf fans there smashing them.
Yes. The ice would be littered with the things.
Yeah, literally dangerous. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah. Along with about 24 Leaf jerseys after the Leafs lose the game. See? I did the joke for you. There it is. But this is, listen, let them have their fun. Whatever. I don't care.
Listen, the Senators need to embrace what they are. And in Ontario, population-wise, fan base-wise, in terms of size, they are the little brother.
The other one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you said it, because I was going to take the low road also.
Well, I don't think that's the low road. I think that's just statistically true. Yeah. And the fact is that arena has not sold well for years. It's also in a weird place. It's also too big. Yes. I get it.
We've done
the LeBreton Flats, which we're still not quite sure actually exist. When that arena comes.
No, that's a figment of everybody's imagination.
Yeah, they just
that doesn't exist.
Nobody in Ottawa has ever seen the LeBreton Flats either.
No, if you say you know where the LeBreton Flats are, you're lying.
Okay. Yeah. It's all part of
Who is LeBreton?
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah, Pierre LeBreton, writer for The Athletic.
Oh, well, if it's the media, then you can't trust it.
Certainly not. But I think the Senators need to embrace the Ridly Greig mentality. Because Ridly Greig is not the biggest guy, but he's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And the Senators, the last time they really had swagger was when they were those pesky Sens.
2017?
Maybe even before that. I mean, that team was amazing. They weren't pesky. They were dominant.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that team pesky.
Yeah. But remember like 2015, 2014?
They should not have made it that
The Hamburglar years where they made it. And those were the pesky Senators, right?
Do you know, people don't understand how special the Hamburglar run was?
It was cool.
I was checking the score. I was earnestly cheering for them because it was so absurd. Mm-hmm. It was, and what was I going to do for it? Cheer for the Leafs?
Yeah.
Maybe Paul Ranger get some Norris votes.
Well, the Leafs, the Leafs sort of walk into every situation. At least that's how the organization has marketed itself the last 10 years, like they're royalty. And they are. And what the Senators should do is go, and throw eggs at them. And that's how you galvanize a fan base and start selling out arenas and getting people on board and excited again. It can't be overstated how damaging the late Eugene Melnyk years were.
Yeah.
And so to get people back on board, you got to have an attitude and you got to embrace what you are, which is you're always going to be a lot smaller, but you can be pissy and funny, and it allows you to take sort of risks. I love this promotion, and I'm a Leaf fan. I think this is awesome. I wish the Leafs had a tenth of the personality in their marketing.
You also just can't let a loss define you, which is what I think the Leafs do very often. But
yeah, the Sens lost to the Leafs 3-4 months ago.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
And imagine if the easy chirp back is okay, but you lost, and the Sens went, "Oh, you're right. Let's not do it.
Get them next year. We've learned a lot of lessons."
Yeah. You know what? We'll do this when we beat them. What? No, just do it. Be dicks. Do your fans think it's good? Do your fans think it's good?
They love it.
Great. Then do it. That's what you should be doing.
Steve's a changed man.
I know.
At least in September. Because I think if this is January and they made the announcement then and we're in the middle of the season and you're in full Leafs fan mode, you're doing the thing where you're yelling about, hey, we're in your walls.
We're in your fucking walls. Yeah, no, I know.
How many times have you hopped on here where somebody does something that's about the Leafs? Because they've made this bobblehead. Justin, if you want to throw it up, it's there. They've made this bobblehead that they're giving away on Jan 10th against the Florida Panthers, which I think is a double troll because they're doing it against the team
yeah.
that beat the Leafs, right? So you wouldn't do it against the Leafs, you would do it against the team that's beating the
and the
Leafs.
Kachuk
I gotta
brothers.
say, that's clever.
Right? So, and I think if you're in full fandom mode, you're coming on here saying, you can't stop thinking about this. Thank you for making your big promotion of the year about me.
You know
And
what? You're
I
so
think
right.
because it's September,
Good impression.
we don't even, it wasn't very good at all.
Me.
I think because it's September, you haven't done an LFR yet.
Yeah.
The Leafs haven't even spoken yet. All we've gotten is Matthew Nyes. You're not in the mode to get upset about this yet.
Can I tell you this season is going to be incredible?
Yeah.
And I already know it's going to be incredible. Because I go through this process every year, but it's begun earlier than I think it ever has. I have full-blown September scaries.
What do you mean?
Okay, so you know the Sunday scaries?
Yeah, like before Monday, you got to go to work, go to school, that sort of thing.
I get them every September.
Well, that's back to school, though, isn't
And
it?
it lasts for weeks. No,
Like,
I'm not in
that's
school.
No, I know, but that's ingrained from when you were. August always feels like a Sunday to me.
Man, I had nightmares about not turning in homework long after I graduated.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, the September scare, because I'm noticing all the habits. I'm getting more nervous. I'm thinking more. I'm thinking quicker. And I stop going in the blue room unless I have a reason to.
Because you're going to spend that much. You're just going to spend so much time in there?
It's a big, no. It's because, like, I don't know how to explain it. I leave it alone.
Jesse, is this
I
like
leave it
when-
alone until it's ready.
Jesse, is this like when Steve wouldn't come hang out with us and watch a playoff game because his couch was lucky and the Leafs lost the series anyway?
No, that was just kind of weird and idiotic. Like, that was, you were doing a superstition that's never worked. I didn't understand how the superstition was successful in any way that you had to keep doing it because all they did was lose.
Yeah.
So how was the couch lucky?
Listen, a factor into that decision was I got to make the LFR after.
Yeah.
And I want to be home for when that happens.
What would February Steve say about this bobblehead?
Oh, friggin' the Shelbyville, enjoy your friggin' bobblehead. The other one, the little brother, Rugi Odor. I can't wait for the Texas Rangers to make a bobblehead of Rugi Odor punching Jose Bautista, ignoring the fact that they got eliminated by the Blue Jays before and after that punch happened.
You had this whole conversation with Adam and didn't bring up the fact that Morgan Riley cross-checked him in the face.
Yeah.
Is that would be the first thing you would go to if you're in full Leafs mode?
If the Leafs had a funny bone in their body, this is free advice. You go ahead and take this.
They don't.
They don't.
All I want, no, they're changing, hopefully.
I hope so.
All I want is a free one. You take this idea and run with it. They need to do a Morgan Riley cross-check bobblehead night.
Right?
That would be
They have to make a bobblehead.
Now, is the
of
NHL
Morgan
going to have
Riley
a problem?
cross-check.
The NHL would actually have because the NHL has no sense of humor. Hey, you're glorifying a suspension.
Gary Bettman would call and get that shut down. Yeah.
Okay, then do we do what from the series that we just saw do you commemorate?
Here's what I think you do.
Nylander's empty net.
No, it's
Ben-
Nylander's empty net, Pacioretty's game winner,
No,
Domi's
Benny's
OT
game winner.
winner, Benoit's OT winner.
Benoit.
Benny's game winner. Or what you do is
Simone Benoit bobblehead night would be incredible in an NHL.
He doesn't make the lineup that night.
No, he has to.
No, he's got to
He's
be
a healthy
He's got to be in.
No, he's Craig Berube puts him in the starting lineup. Damn it.
He's 1C that night.
Once,
yeah?
Have him take. Fuck yeah! Have him take the face off.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So here, okay.
Oh,
so
love that.
Here's my thing with that. You know, the Leafs could and should respond. You got to have fun with this,
Yeah.
right? So what the Leafs need to do, other than doing the boring shit, which, you know, I get why Shanahan did what he did. You have to understand, when he stepped in here, the culture was a mess. The players were a disaster. They had to suspend their own guys. Like, it was a bad time. But as this group has grown, the organization did not grow around them and did not have that flair for, hey, this is a show and we should be entertaining people. And so what I think the Leafs should do is when Paul Ross, who is their announcer, or Mike Ross, excuse me, When he
Paul Ross follows us on Twitter.
yeah,
That's why you got confused.
yeah. Mike Rossi on the mic, who I love, really nice guy. When he gets out there for the first Leafs Senators home game, he should just be like, and here's your, the Senators trying to make Leafs, and a reminder that the playoff record between these two teams is 5-0 for Toronto. That's all you need to do. Like, because I remember one time the Senators, when they were actually bad, beat the Leafs, and they played the Hall & Oates song that the Leafs always used to play. And I thought, damn it, I hate it, but I respect it. And they didn't double down on it at that time. And I feel like now they're embracing that. They need to be that.
You can't have the Mad Men, I don't think about you at all approach.
No,
let's embrace
it's way more fun if we start taking like harmless shots at each other.
Yeah, because it would be a lie. Like your arena is filled with us. You can't say you don't think about us at all.
Yeah.
So they have to take the approach where we see you and we don't care. We're the Sens.
I also think I don't think about you at all doesn't work in athletics. I think about you obsessively and your demise.
Yeah, and you're going down.
I think that's way better than I don't think about you at all.
100%.
I dream of ways to kill you in my sleep. That is sports.
Yeah. It's the
I
same.
think about your downfall first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I hate you with every fiber of my being. Is that what you want to hear?
It's the same mentality as the MJ doc where he's making up ghosts to fight.
Yes.
It's a dude in the parking lot said I couldn't hit that jumper. I'm going to go drop 50 tonight.
Tom Brady winning again and going, the whole world thought we couldn't do it. And we're like, Tom,
Everybody thought you could do it.
to do it.
Yeah. And at the time, he's married to a supermodel. He has 5 Super Bowls. He's like, nobody thinks I can get 6. I'm like, what? Everybody thinks you can get 6. We're annoyed that you keep getting Super Bowls. What are you talking about, Tom Brady?
We felt like it was inevitable, Tom. That was the problem.
Every year you win.
I'm still not convinced he's retired.
No. He's still rostered on a bunch of dynasty leagues. 2% of leagues still have him rostered. Just in case, which I think is amazing.
He might.
He's still in great shape too, but he owns a team. He can't go in.
Yeah, he has a statue outside the stadium now. He can't really go in.
This
and
guy's
play.
wife was like, stop playing or we're getting divorced. And then they got divorced.
He's like, I guess divorce is better.
And you're like, oh, but he has other obligations? Get out of here.
And she's
Watch
like,
sports.
I have a yoga instructor.
Yeah. Like, come on. Yeah, Tom Brady bobblehead night coming to Toronto.
I love it.
No, the Sens need to think about the Leafs all the time, and I just wish that I had a Leafs fan next to me to yell at the Sens, but apparently I don't. So
maybe one day.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's cool, and I respect it, and I hope that the Leafs respond and do something fun back. That's all I'm saying. Like I want there to be, if the NHL is truly serious about rivalries, it's not about jerry rigging the playoff format so that you have to play the same goddamn team every year. It's about teams using marketing.
Can you imagine?
To fire up the fan base.
Michael Andlauer's done a very good job.
He's awesome.
He's done a very good job with the Sens. And
Toronto's own Michael Andlauer.
Yes, right.
As Eugene Melnick was Toronto's own Eugene Melnick.
Mm-hmm. It's
sorry, that's our fault.
Yeah.
No, he saved them. Don't forget that.
Got it. That's true.
I think yeah.
No, it's good for the Sens, which, believe it or not, is good for the Leafs, and it's good for hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the other big news this morning that I wanted to make sure we hit before Crosby, before Jack Hughes, before Craig Berube, talking about the Leafs and the Dustin Wolf extension and Rasmus Andersson and all this stuff.
The group chat is exploding, and I'm ignoring all of it, Adam. You throw at me whatever you need.
You'll never guess this, and neither will Jesse.
Okay.
And it's not in the group chat. I didn't even know the group chat was exploding. I'm not watching.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
I haven't even looked at the group
I don't
chat,
know what Steve's referring
which is rare for me because I'm always looking at something.
I don't know what Steve's referring to because I didn't read it.
What is Adam trying to say here?
There's a legend back in the booth.
A legend back in the booth.
Are you ready? Who's been missing from the hockey discourse?
Who's been missing?
Stephen A. Smith.
No,
we don't.
He says the same thing every time. All I know about hockey is the puck is black.
Yeah.
So this is a legendary hockey broadcaster.
Yep.
Who left hockey broadcasting and is returning to hockey broadcasting.
That's correct. Come on, guys. Come on.
Don Cherry.
No.
What?
No.
That's a good guess.
I think Don's like 86, man. I don't know.
Might be
hope.
older,
Yeah.
honestly.
I would hope he's
Yeah.
Guys who have retired and are now back. Joe Bowen's on TV.
not retired. He didn't retire.
Oh. I don't know.
The rights just switched.
The rights just switched. In America?
That's where the rights switched.
Help me out, man.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Pittsburgh, I hope you're ready. Because Pierre Maguire's back in the booth,
Oh,
baby!
no way!
Pierre Maguire has officially joined the Penguins radio network. He will join the legendary Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer for pre- and post-game coverage, appearing on 41 games this season, as well as select episodes of Penguins Live Weekly.
That's a crazy duo, actually.
Yeah, Pierre Maguire is back.
Paul Steigerwald?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I pronounced his name wrong. I apologize, Paul.
I
I apologize. So Pierre Maguire back in the booth, baby. Listen.
I can.
The one thing I'll say, listen, Pierre, I've actually worked with Pierre. I've done some like NHL Network stuff where he's been on.
Okay.
Very nice fellow.
Sure.
He said some crazy shit in the past.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Carey Price was drafted, and he was like, "That's terrible. That's a bad pick." Why
That
you
wasn't
drafting
even
him
the
on
worst thing he said on that broadcast.
No. But when we talk about entertaining, it's undeniable. Pierre Maguire is entertaining. He is polarizing. He is frustrating to some. But I say this about who was the super biased guy with the Bruins who just retired and I
All of them.
No, the play-by-play guy. I think he's going through some health issues.
My God. Why am I a garbage? It's escaping me right now.
Not
Jack
Hager.
Edwards?
Thank
Jack
you.
Edwards. I always thought, I'm like, Jack Edwards is perfect for Boston.
Oh,
He's
the rule.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And he drives people nuts from out of market. You know why? Because you're not from Boston.
No. You don't cheer for the Bruins. The
He
one
fell down like he
syllable.
got shot. Remember that?
Oh,
call?
my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sirhan. And, the greatest hits.
I think it's good for the world that Pierre Maguire is back. And I think that it's kind of cool that it's, Sidney Crosby's swan song in Pittsburgh. And Pierre Maguire is going to be around for it. And what will the post game be like when Sidney Crosby is traded to the Canadiens at the deadline?
What will every broadcast be like when the guy who's doing color commentary for the Pittsburgh Penguins is covering Kyle Dubas's team? It got to a point where every second sentence out of his mouth, Pierre, what do you prefer, sunny days or rainy days? And he would just go, analytics are fucking dumb.
Yeah, that was
like,
it was a little much. That was a
Pierre.
little much. Yeah, Pierre, shut up.
And now he's doing Kyle Dubas's team.
I think he's still-
that rules.
I don't know if he still has it, but I know he had a podcast at some point called The Eye Test.
You're
Which is
you're
just
making that up.
No, that's
No,
a
I
thing.
think he's
making
right.
it up, and you should take it back.
Him and Jimmy Murphy, I think, did it together.
Yes.
It's called The Eye Test, which is just so
And-
it's so on brand.
Heavens to Betsy. That's in. Whoever came up with that damn name.
Yeah.
Is very good.
And also, the pairing of those personalities, that should have worked.
Holy.
That should have worked.
Yeah, it's actually a return home for Maguire because Pittsburgh is where he got his start in the NHL. He was hired as like an assistant way back.
He won cups?
in Dickety 2 with the Penguins, and then eventually worked his way up with that team and won a cup as I think assistant coach. It was with the Penguins, but yeah, that's where his cup is, and so it feels very fitting that he's going to do this for the Penguins.
So and the reason I segued to the Penguins
One cup.
is because I think the biggest news yesterday was the Penguins. And Pierre Maguire got to speak to Pat Brisson, who is one of the biggest agents in the game and has been Sidney Crosby's agent. And Crosby spoke on this too, but we're going to start with Pat. And Pierre LeBrun said, hey, why is speculation growing? And Pat said, well, it's a reality. First of all, he's been so consistent for 20 years. He's had another great year last year. He just keeps going. The comparison is Tom Brady. I would agree with that. We want Sidney to hopefully be in the playoffs every year. We want him to hopefully win another cup or two. Each year the team he's playing on fails to make the playoffs, it creates a lot of speculation. In reality, he's not getting any younger. We're here to support him. It's the beginning of the season here. Let's see how things are going. Hopefully they have a great season and the speculation will go away. But at the same time, the reason we talk about this is because he's such a great player still. He continues to be such a difference maker like Tom Brady. That's how I look at it. And, to take it further, Brisson said, it's been 3 years and they haven't made the playoffs. It all depends on how Sid is going to be and how the team is doing. I maintain the same position that I do every year, that he should be playing playoff hockey every year, in my opinion. And then the last
that's everyone's opinion, unless they're like a Caps or Flyers fan.
Well, yeah. Or local media who told us, actually, it's great that he's missing the playoffs.
No,
you guys just wouldn't understand. And then the last one is, I'm answering something that, let's put it this way, it's always a possibility, as in him moving. So the agent said it. Now, Crosby talked about it too. And he said, as someone who loves to play in environments like that, I grew up a Montreal Canadiens fan, to have an ovation like that was very special and something I always remember when he was talking about going to play in Montreal.
Was that the Four Nation face-off thing?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And he said, I get it when it comes to the speculation. This is specifically about the Montreal Canadiens. Trust me, growing up a Montreal fan and being from not too far from there, I understand how passionate they are. Whether it's those experiences or guys that I've played with that have played there or playing there in the playoffs or Four Nations, all these different things, I get it. And so he gets the speculation as well. So don't worry. It's okay to ask Sidney about it because he gets it. So I thought that that's the first public admission from the Crosby camp that it's possible. Because what we were told, CJ brought this up 2 off seasons ago. Off-season 2024. And then we talked about it again this spring. And everybody's like, you're full of crap. You don't know what you're talking about. And all we said is, listen, if we don't address that it's possible because they're not making the playoffs, then I think we're lying to ourselves, right? We're doing it a disservice. We should talk about it. This is the first time where his agent, who is, I think, the biggest agent in the game in terms of clientele and money.
Brisson, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
CAA, it's an enormous agency.
Look him up on Puckpedia. The amount of contracts.
It's not like him attending to all the players, right?
No,
for CAA.
No,
so
of course.
He couldn't. Under that.
He could not physically possibly.
Yeah. You got young guys under you, kind of like what Judd Moldaver was under Jeff Jackson, and that's how he had Austin, then he inherited Connor, right?
Yeah.
That said, guys, what do you think about the first real public admission that, hey, it's always possible?
All right, nearly every Pittsburgh writer, get him, sick him. Here we go. Let's keep the energy up, right? Let's keep the same energy. He talked about the possibility of Sidney Crosby leaving Pittsburgh. Get him! Sick him! Oh, you're not gonna? That's so fucking weird. That's just so strange. It's so weird that Pat Brisson said pretty much all the same shit that we have and everyone else has, and gently was like, hey, it could be a possibility.
And Crosby didn't say it's a possibility. He just said, I get it.
Yeah.
But he didn't refute it.
Who gives a shit?
He didn't.
The guy who works for him
it's
said
not going to happen.
The guy who works for him said it. That's good enough for me.
Because he pays that guy.
What's Crosby going to say? I would never expect Sidney Crosby to utter those words from his mouth. Ever. When a player does it, which will happen and does happen, it's news.
Or a player's dad.
Yeah, or
Not the player you think that we're talking about, Leafs fans. We're talking about the Habs one.
No, anyway. The other one who we just talked about and is going to get talked about more, I imagine. The guy's agent talked about it. Now, he was asked about it, but there's 1,000,001 answers you can give. And, well, we're focused on winning with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we could get on our little
That's
show.
That's what Marner said about the Leafs.
Yeah.
I'm focused on winning with the Leafs this year.
Yep.
It was a perfectly fine answer.
Mm-hmm. And he stuck to that forever.
And by the way, he was always testing or going to free agency. Darren Ferris said that on the John Shannon show. He wants his players to go to free agency.
Yeah, reality doesn't have to match the things you say. That's
Oh, and we've got a player coming up that we're going to talk about where reality is not matching.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, yeah. I love it. Good tease, Adam. But listen, you revere this is for Penguins writers and Penguins fans. You revere Sidney Crosby. Everyone else also reveres Sidney Crosby. Even the people who hate him the most respect him. You know what I mean? He's been around for so long and been through so many wars and so many battles. You have to respect him, for God's sake.
When he's on his retirement tour, I think the city of Philadelphia is going to give him a standing ovation.
Is their version of a standing ovation pelting him with batteries? Like I don't know what to expect from the city of Philadelphia, but he's gonna get something, right? He's gonna get something. I think it'd be funny to have like on the jumbotron, Claude Giroux comes on the screen and gives him the middle finger or something like that.
That'd be very Philly and great.
Yeah, thanks for breaking my arm, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
And, dude, I think that would be extremely Philly and extremely wonderful, extremely great. To me, do we have your permission now? Is it no longer disrespectful? Like I had people say it's disrespectful to talk about Crosby and the idea that one day he might not be a Penguin, like he might play somewhere else. Stop it. Listen, if it's not his wishes, if he never wants to leave Pittsburgh, fine. But if his agent is to be believed, that door is ajar.
Even ever so slightly.
I don't think he's looking for it, but if you think he hasn't thought of it, I think you're kidding yourself. If you think Dubas hasn't spoken to teams about it and listen, here's what it would look like, I think you're out of your mind.
Kyle's a very prepared individual. He'd have a deal in mind for every player on his team.
And his agent has certainly thought about it. And now we know it for shit sure. It's a possibility. And I get that hurts.
Jesse, what do you think?
I think now that they did this interview, and Pat Brisson does not have to give interviews. He does not have to sit down with Pierre LeBrun. This is an effort by him in a very direct way to get a narrative out there. And I feel like after these words have been said, there is now permission from these gentlemen to move this conversation forward. Mm-hmm. When Pat Brisson says, it all depends on how Sid is going to be and how the team is going to do. I maintain that the same position that I do believe he should be playing playoff hockey every year. That's Pat Brisson's, his agent's opinion. He thinks Crosby should in the playoffs. And then there's an admission from Crosby that with the way the Penguins play year in and year out, where they're struggling to make the playoffs and they're not in it, that's hard on him. He says it there. He says, it's the unknown, the uncertainty, the question marks. That's the stuff that's tough. Crosby said that is tough. It makes you appreciate all those years that we were competing, going after the big acquisition, every single trade deadline. I don't think I took it for granted, but I definitely appreciate it now much more. So Crosby says the hard part is losing. He said it to the media. So now we can go forward and have the speculation conversations of where's a good fit? If the Penguins keep losing, are they going to move Crosby? Because I feel like before yesterday, there was a little bit of you shouldn't have those discussions. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be talking about if the Penguins, they end up in last again. Should they trade Crosby? There's so much pushback when you do that. Now it's like, okay, everybody exhale. We can speculate and it's fair because there he is himself admitting it is tough on me in my life losing this much.
Nobody likes it, Jesse.
And like I don't think it's a great use of energy to have that discussion now. Like
I think it is.
No, but like right this very second, be like, all right, where are all the teams? You could do it.
I think it's actually great.
I think now would be the perfect time.
You could do it. But what I'm saying is, if the Penguins start the season not so good, which we kind of expect, and if by Christmas it's even worse, which we kind of expect, and then January and the Olympics and then the trade deadline's right there, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Like we got to, if the Penguins continue on this trajectory, every single trade deadline, there is a possibility that before 3:00, the hockey world gets clobbered over the head with the Sidney Crosby trade. That may never happen. Mm-hmm. It may never happen, but we have confirmation from the biggest agent in the game that it's possible.
And I think them going out there and doing the talking to the media about this possibility, it plants the seeds to where if something like this were to happen, it doesn't come out of nowhere. They're explaining, hey, if this is a chance, it's Crosby wants to be in the playoffs. He doesn't like losing. He thinks the environment he's playing in right now is tough. Those are his words. It is tough in Pittsburgh. So if this happens eventually, we know why. And it's not out of nowhere. Oh, all of a sudden Crosby's traded, and it's a sin against Pittsburgh.
Or
and
it's a surprise. It will be less of it. It's almost like, hey, let's just plant the seed.
Yeah.
If it happens, then nobody's
This
surprised.
isn't like we need a public hanging of Kyle Dubas.
No.
It's something Crosby wants, and it's going to be up to him. But now we know that this situation could be too difficult, and he wants to move on to somewhere else. And we can talk about it now. I feel free.
And Dubas.
Well, we could always talk
surely
about it,
wants
by the way.
But when you talk about it before times, in what do we call it?
A few weeks ago.
Before Crosby in BC, now that we are AC after Crosby talks, now there's a freeing sense because you have something to back up that conversation. Yeah. His agent said he wants to see him in the playoffs every year, and Crosby said it's getting hard to lose every year. I have something to go with now when I do, hey, Crosby should land with the Colorado Avalanche or the Montreal Canadiens or whatever little segment we want to do, the Buffalo Sabres. I can say because X and Y, he wants this, his agent wants this, Crosby wants this is the situation that fits, everything makes sense. There's no pushback there, and now we can move forward with the next conversation on the fun stuff of, hey, where could he go?
So
I feel free. It's awesome.
So let me throw a wrench in there, because here's what I believe. I don't know this to be true, but I believe this. I believe if you gave Kyle Dubas Truth Serum right now, Veritas Serum, for Harry Potter fans out there, he would say, yes, I want to trade Crosby. Because I think
a million percent.
Because I think he wants to reset this franchise, and we all know that a Sidney Crosby trade and a Geno Malkin trade, which could happen this year too, because it is. We now know, and Josh Yohe of The Athletic reported this, they're not re-signing Malkin. If he's back next year, he's not with the Pens.
No. I think what Dubas wants to do is start from rock bottom 3 years from now.
Exactly. where the value of both players is completely exhausted, and maybe Chris Letang too.
Forget value. They're just simply retired.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if Sidney Crosby's name isn't Sidney Crosby, he's probably like, it's not even a discussion that he's getting traded.
Yeah.
Right? If this is just, we got a really good center who's not really useful on our team because we're not good, I'll trade him for assets.
And that
like, what?
is an enormous compliment to Sid.
Yes.
It's an enormous compliment to Sid. I understand his place in the pantheon of hockey, but specifically his place in the pantheon of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's going to get a statue. He might get several.
But let me continue with my point here.
Sure.
The Pittsburgh Penguins just sold. And so it's fair. You know, we've been hard on people that have been hard on us about talking about this. It was fair when Fenway put them up for sale to say, yeah, that's not friggin' likely because Fenway can't sell this franchise for as much without Sidney Crosby.
They haven't sold yet.
But it's basically agreed to in principle. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
This summer. So
but
it's not,
just to clarify, they haven't sold.
They haven't sold, but I think it's the Hoffman Group or something. They're going to be, it just has to be approved. And there's, hey, it's $1.7 billion or something, the deal. So there's a lot of things that need to be checked. Once that deal goes through, the question will become, what is Kyle Dubas told by his new management group? Because he was brought in by a guy from Fenway Sports who left like a year after Kyle got there. Mm-hmm. And then Fenway Sports was like, yeah, no, we're not going to spend any money on anything except for Liverpool. And then they hated the way the NHL ran things. They stopped sending representatives to the Board of Governors meetings. Can you believe that?
That's disrespectful. We're talking about disrespect and all of this.
They won't even play for
Your
the plane
owners
ticket.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And
the fans are the only ones who do. The owners don't even show up
for the Board of Governors.
That's pathetic.
Well, and it's out of anger towards or antipathy to Gary Bettman. And so with that said, Mike, what I'm curious about and what I think a lot of this hinges on is what's the new management group want? Because right now, what our understanding of the league as a whole is that Pittsburgh is the only team that's willing to sell. Rust and Raquel are the two names that keep coming up. I don't know why Letang's name's not out there, but Carlson's is. And and I feel like if Kyle wants to tear this down, dude, do it before the sale goes through. But here's the other thing.
The things they could get.
If Crosby wants to go, they'll trade him.
You know what's funny about the Penguins? You look at the assets that they have to sell, and
they're amazing.
You wonder how they're that bad.
Well, because they have no goaltending and nothing beyond those assets.
The D is...
It's awful. It's atrocious. And they have bad contracts back there.
You can't get a stop.
So my point in all of this is the ownership situation will play into this. And it's a question of, can Kyle Dubas do some of these things, maybe not Crosby, but Malkin or whatever, before the ownership group fully takes over? Do the Penguins pull a Detroit Red Wings from 2023 and go on a tear in October, and everybody's like, ha, screw you, fuck you guys, and then miss the playoffs by a couple of points like Detroit did in 2023-24.
But
that's always possible.
To me, that's a little different because you had a shot. You had a shot and you blew it.
But that's where the Penguins were in 2024 as well. 23-24, they had a shot and they blew it.
No, that was 2022-23 when they blew it against Chicago.
Was that long ago?
Yes, it literally gave birth to a Panthers dynasty.
Wow.
They win that game, the Panthers do not make the playoffs.
Damn.
And then the Boston Bruins had an opportunity to shut down the Panthers, and they choked that away.
And then the Leafs.
With what was it, the goalie pulled, and they couldn't get a fucking empty net goal.
All the things in hockey that should have never been, this iteration of the Florida Panthers should have never been.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle. Life finds a way. Mm-hmm. And you can't even say they found a way because they backed into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because the Penguins fucked it.
Yeah, through no fault of their own, they got into the playoffs.
Right. Well, they went on a heater too. But anyway, all that to say, obviously this quiets down, the better the Penguins are. If they start the season great.
And they've got some interesting pieces. Obviously Raquel, Crosby, Rust is a great first line.
Yeah. And if you're practical, you say, well, you should sell high then. But they're just not going to do that.
As of this point, Malkin's going to be playing between Ville Koivunen and Anthony Mantha.
Koivunen is, there's some Calder chatter around him. He could work out.
Rutger McGorty, it was announced this morning, has an injury and will miss rookie camp. That's already not great. He had to work on his skating. He really struggled at the NHL level last year. But they also have two former Predator centers, Novak and Tomasino. And then there's Connor Dewar.
I think those are both really good acquisitions.
I really like them too. They are very Kyle Dubas acquisitions. Connor Dewar, another real Kyle Dubas guy.
I like Connor Dewar.
Blake Lizotte and Justin Brazeau, who we love.
They got Brazeau?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I love Oh Yeah season.
And I
forgot all about that.
Here's an Oh Yeah. Matt Dumba is a pen.
Justin Brazeau is on Kyle Dubas's team.
This is. Of course he is.
If this table wasn't bolted to the floor, I would friggin' flip it. Oh my God.
That Matt Dumba one is a big oh yeah for me.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I don't even know when that happened.
Their right side
Carlson, Clifton, Dumba.
And Letang.
Letang on Daily Faceoff is listed on the left. Behind Ryan Shea and in front of Owen Pickering, who has a good future.
Mm-hmm. You asked about Letang being a trade asset. His deal is really weird because it's going on forever. 3 more seasons.
But with the rising cap, I thought it wouldn't matter.
Okay. It's still $6 million, so you're gonna have to, if you want to retain on that, you're gonna have it for 3 seasons. So
the Penguins need Tristan Jarry to be good. You ever heard the term position to succeed?
Oh, yeah.
He's got to play behind that.
Yeah, and
they'll put up points, but jeez,
and
that's awful.
Who's their backup? We talked about it quickly last week.
Artur Silovs, which is, I like that acquisition.
He was like the AHL goalie of the year last year, or one of them. He was amazing. They were in the finals. I like him. I think he's very good.
I think he might end up being the starter.
Yeah.
You think? They're not. They're not.
Do you know what to expect out of Tristan Jarry?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's going to give you 3-4 weeks of 925 before giving you 830.
No, Steve, he is going to be the starter.
I don't know.
He is. And look at what happened with Tristan Jarry last year. Look at how bad it got, and they still have him. It's Artur Silovs.
Silovs has more
They
recent
want
experience
Silovs to
playing
win.
in front of an AHLD, which is what that is. Holy shit.
This is the point. So it'll be interesting to see how Dubas, for lack of a better way of saying this, stick handles this. Not going to be easy. And with an ownership situation in flux, I think Kyle Dubas himself, like if you're wondering about the future of his job, I don't think he's been, and I've been very critical of him, I don't think he's been allowed to do the job he wants to do.
At
I'm
any
still going
point
to
in
be
his
critical.
career.
I mean, well, specifically here, though, because it's like Fenway is like, no, but you need to keep winning. And when he signed on there, they said, we're going to give it a couple more years, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do.
Right.
Well, now a couple more years has happened, and I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're only getting worse. And, maybe they do go on a heater, but that's not a Stanley Cup roster. We all know that. Raquel and Rust, if rumors are to be believed, will move at some point.
Yeah.
But if the new ownership group's like, no, double down, then they won't.
I know this is a Crosby topic and not a Dubas topic, but it's alarming where you look at them up front and you're like, all right. That guy doesn't know how to build a decor.
No.
Like at
I mean, you saw that with the Leafs too.
Holy shit.
One thing I'll say, Tree in Calgary built a bunch of studs on the back end.
He left them
crazy.
with, well, they're not doing
Andersson,
so hot, but
Tanev.
Yep.
Who else?
Shillington had a lot of promise.
He did. Fox was there for a hot minute.
What am I forgetting about?
But there's like they had brilliant defense there, and the Leafs defense is the best we've
Did
seen
you
in
say
a long
Hannafin?
time. Hannafin, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
about
there
him.
you go.
There you go.
Adam, I think Pittsburgh will be upset with you for putting Letang on the left side there.
Well, that's where
That's how he's listed.
That's how he's listed.
Yeah, but-
I don't think he is, but yeah.
He's on
By the way, Ryan Graves is not listed there. Where's he? I'm looking. At him.
he should be in the top left slot on the defense.
He's
Should
still
be-
in Pittsburgh.
It should be Graves, Letang, like Shea,
Dumba might
Carlson.
not make the opening.
Yeah, because you got the right-handed D, Letang, Carlson, Clifton, Dumba on the right side there on Puckpedia.
You'll be sad to hear that there's only 4 years of Ryan Graves' deal left.
Oh my fucker.
You're 3 of 6.
Yeah, that's including this year.
That's a thing, huh?
Sure is.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he's not a D builder.
No,
Anyways.
not at all.
I could have phrased that better. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you did.
Now, this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/STP and get on your way to being your best self. Jesse, Steve, how are you your best selves because of therapy? Because we've all been.
Oh my goodness. I
Don't say slow it down because nobody knew what that meant.
no, I know. Oh really? Okay. Well, I have a better time analyzing myself. An easier time slowing it down to figure out why I am feeling the emotions and feelings that I am feeling.
Jesse.
Was that better?
I like your theory about how September is the new year as opposed to January. It's like, hey, in the middle of the winter, like all this change. Like, no, it makes more sense where it's summer to fall and everything comes back and it's old and it's new and school and all that. So now's a good time for the reset portion of your life, and therapy should be a part of that.
Absolutely. Make time for it. It's actually extremely valuable. I've done it a lot myself, and what's the amazing thing about BetterHelp is it's fully online. It makes therapy affordable, convenient, and they serve over 5 million people worldwide. The thing with therapy in the past, one of the barriers was when you needed therapy, it's like, great, so glad that you've signed up for therapy. We'll see you in 6 to 8 weeks when we can match you with somebody. And then when you got matched with somebody, you might not vibe with them. I've had therapy where the therapist and I we didn't click. And sometimes you need that. And what's great about this is you'll be matched with a therapist in 24 hours or less in some cases. And there's over 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties based on your needs. And you can easily switch therapists at any time, like I said, no cost either. So visit betterhelp.com/SDP today to get 10% off your first month. We want you to give therapy a shot. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/SDP. Let's talk about Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes, who
Is he a D builder?
he doesn't build a strong straight D.
He's a D
Jack
destroyer.
Hughes is trying to build a D with his brother.
Yes, he is. Pierre LeBrun. I asked Jack Hughes about whether he talks to his brother Quinn about possibly playing together in the future. And Jack said, this is the headline, I love the Hughes. When they talk, Great quotes. All of them. The Hugheses. He said, honestly, I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah, I would love for Quinn to, and then he paused. Eventually, I'd love to play with him. And whether that's in New Jersey.
Smart kid.
Yep.
Or at what time that takes, at some point, I want to play with Quinn. But yeah, that's the question going around. They talk about it all day up in Vancouver, but I'd love to play with Quinn at some point. Now, Quinn, eligible for an extension soon, has not signed one. Vancouver in flux, although I do really like their goaltending tandem if they're healthy. This will be, and the rumor out of camp, by the way, because I asked around, is Mr. Pettersson looks like he's in great shape, which is
Elias?
a complete, the Elias the forward.
I will never, I will never buy that story out of any pro athlete.
You won't.
I'm sorry, you're in shape and you're looking good against pylons.
Yeah.
Like you are literally on the ice with maybe, I don't know, a parachute strapped to your back.
You haven't taken a hit in
going
months.
10 miles an hour down the ice. Wow, you're speedy.
Yeah.
You haven't taken a hit in months. You should be conditioned to the peak of human form. Yeah. That is your job for $10 million a year. I'm sorry that you look good on the ice. That's your job. I don't care. Every athlete sells that story. Oh, they look so good.
People forget that season runs concurrently with best shape of my life.
Best shape of their life season is in prime form.
And taller than they're listed as taller than they actually are.
Yeah,
they're not actually
listen,
that tall.
if I'm a Canucks fan, I read that and I go, ooh, but it means absolutely nothing.
Well, and we'll talk about the Austin Matthews in shape stuff too, because
no, you hear that across pro sports. Like NBA players are the worst for it. Like every year, Ben Simmons, who's doing some stuff with his agent right now, he's like the peak of this stuff because he can't play basketball. But every time he's out and he's injured and he's rehabbing, they're like, Ben Simmons looks so good.
He might play double-digit games.
He might shoot within the basket. Like he might
come to practice.
He might be within the lane and actually take a shot. Like it's crazy.
Well, that would be bad though.
Yeah.
You don't want him taking shots.
No. So in hockey players too, it's peak form. They look so fresh.
Ben Simmons is one of my introductions to basketball TikTok because there was this one time it was him right under the net and the guy guarding him is Trae Young. And this guy is just losing his fucking mind. He's like, who are you passing the ball to?
Yeah, Ben Simmons is 7 foot tall and he refuses to just take a layup. And so everybody looks good against shooting targets. I'm sorry, everybody looks good against the AHL goalie who they paid to put on the ice for $10 an hour to take shots. It's the off season. I don't care that Pettersson looks good.
Well, and the one I saw was he gained 13 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of pounds? Mm-hmm. That's what
They're all dough.
That's a lot.
It's all dough.
Listen, he makes $11 million. I'm sure he has everything, the best, whatever. But it used to be a lot worse. I want to say the worst example was, remember when Luke Shen was really young with the Leafs and it's he put on 20 pounds this summer?
That's not hard for Luke Shen to do.
It's not hard for Luke. Yeah, but what kind of 20 pounds?
100%.
20 pounds
of muscle?
Of muscle in less than half a year. That's impossible.
Summer's not that long, right? I don't know how you put on 20 pounds.
That's impossible without taking the kind of drugs they give horses.
Yeah.
Or The Rock.
Yeah, or
their equivalent.
Who clearly takes those
takes
it's horses and The Rock.
The kind of drugs you give horses.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's clean.
It's just hard work and eat your veggies. Okay,
yeah, no.
But,
no, it's by putting hot sauce on flaky fish and rice.
And eating a bunch of sushi on Instagram. I'm The Rock.
Here's my
look at my sushi on Sunday.
Cheat meal. Fuck you. Cheat meal.
I eat a platter of sushi on Sunday. This is how I'm The Rock.
Sushi's my fucking healthy meal, you dick.
Also, when...
Have you the Family Guy bit? Fat guys think this is health food. It's a fat dude eating sushi.
Also, in shape, out of shape guy from the 50s.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Wait a sec. Can you breathe out for a moment?
Yeah. Okay, let me get to Quinn.
Sorry.
Oh, sure.
So we heard what Jack said. He's like, I'm not afraid to say it. I would love to eventually play with Quinn. Quinn was asked this morning. So the Jack Hughes thing was last night. Quinn is today. Pierre LeBrun again. He said, he's my brother. What's he supposed to say? I don't want to play with him.
Right.
Love Quinn Hughes.
Yo, the Hughes brothers are the best quote in the game. Like Matthew and Brady Tkachuk are like the funny ones. They're like, I don't know if you guys ever watched there was like an old cartoon where there's a bunch of Speed Racer and there would be these two guys that would hit each other on the head and that's how the car moved. That's what the Tkachuks are to me. These guys are funny. They got a personality.
Is effortless.
Effortlessly
funny.
Deadpan.
I spoke to him when I think he was still 19 and I immediately was like, I love this kid. That's so funny. God bless him. You were like one sentence in and I'm laughing.
So
I love him.
He said, I mean, we have contracts and whatnot. He's on a different team. Would it be fun to play with those guys at some point? And he's talking about not just Jack, but his brother Luke as well.
He sent Quinn Hughes to media day.
Yeah.
Why?
And he said, would it be fun? Of course. But I think if guys have brothers, if you guys have brothers, you would say the same thing. But we do have contracts. I'm excited to be in Vancouver, and I feel like last year was a little bit of failure, so I feel like we got things to do. And I know Jack, he loves Jersey, and he's got stuff to do as well. Worth noting that the Hughes brothers all spend a ton of time in Toronto, and there are pictures of them as kids in Toronto Maple Leafs garb.
Whoa.
Yeah, they went to the outdoor game, right?
They did, and they were all Leafs
But
gear.
that wasn't that the Detroit one
Yeah.
where the picture's from?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's
Because
your
really
in Toronto theory.
I'm sorry,
that game
isn't really adding
They want to
up.
join McDavid and Crosby here.
that game that happened 3 years ago actually happened 11 years ago.
I know,
Yes,
isn't that
yes.
insane?
So it's old
Yeah.
folks.
We're all babies.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
Now,
I was talking to Drew about this because he read the Jack Hughes portion of the quote, and then he read it, and he's like, "Yeah, what do you want him to say?"
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I want to play with my brother, and then Quinn came out and said that, and I was like, "Yeah, that's probably the right reaction to all of this. Is of course they want to play together. They're brothers."
yep.
Yeah, but Drew has a similar sense of humor, I think, to Jack.
Yes.
Like, hey, man, can you believe he said he's stupid? Yeah, he is stupid.
Yeah,
like,
he's
that
fucking
is something
idiot.
I could easily see Quinn and Drew say.
Yeah.
Josh Clipperton, who is a writer for the Canadian Press, said, this is the quote, Quinn Hughes on if he's surprised about all the chatter about his future 2 years out from UFA and Jack's comments. Yes and no. Obviously, Jack wasn't the first one to bring it up, in fairness to him. And then Quinn Hughes to a group of reporters at the NHL Media Day on Jack's comments on wanting him to play together one day. I don't care at all. I think it's just him being authentic. And if a fan base can't understand why he would say that, that makes no sense to me.
Yes.
Spicy.
No, but he's talking
right.
to people who are like, "Oh, there's something going on." And no,
I'm the old guy because
they're
love this.
literally brothers, and if you ask a brother who's good friends with his brother, do you want to play together? His answer is going to be yes. It's not like he initiated this as like, I want to go. I'm demanding a trade request to Vancouver. He was asked the question, and he's being honest.
I'm surprised no one took the low-hanging fruit of, I'll see him in February.
Nah,
Like, at the Olympics.
Yeah,
They're going to play together at the Olympics.
pending injuries,
Pending
Like-
injuries.
like the Four Nations.
Right. Right. Did Jack play at the Four Nations? I don't remember.
I don't think he did.
He was listed on the roster when I was coming up.
I
with the
can't
team,
remember.
but
Yeah,
Like,
don't
here's-
remember if he played.
That's what's scary about Team USA is Quinn did not play. I
McAvoy.
don't think Jack played. McAvoy got injured.
Yeah.
Matthews was fighting a wrist injury literally all year, we think. We think
Matthew
it was wrist.
Tkachuk.
Well, and Matthew Tkachuk.
They're
Matthew Tkachuk will not be healthy again until a year later. Literally.
preposterous.
Yeah, Team USA is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to be crazy
They're
this year.
preposterous.
So, anyway, I just thought those were fun quotes.
Jack was in every game. He played 4 games.
Oh, well-
17,
well, he
18 minutes a
sucked.
night.
It sounds like he lost.
That's so nuts.
Sounds like he lost,
Did
though,
he
didn't
score?
He had 1 assist on the tournament.
Yeah, well, that's... You know what?
11
I don't
shots,
remember him.
17-55, Jack Hughes.
And Jesse, he had
Four
0
Nations.
points in the playoffs, and I would say that means he can't perform under pressure.
He didn't play, damn it.
I know he didn't play in the playoffs. Jeez. All right, now let's talk about Craig Berube and how he feels about the Leafs. Now, remember, this is happy season. This is positivity season.
Everybody's in the best shape of their life. How
so
can you not be happy?
Everybody's so fucking tall and so fucking in shape.
Yeah.
And Matthews is feeling a lot better than he has, which is a very good sign. That's the direct quote from Craig Berube. Now, Matthews said that last week. Berube acknowledged, he said Matthews basically wasn't healthy for all of last season. Remember, his 33 goals are a career low. That's the worst he's ever done.
And in
That's
how
pretty
many
crazy.
games, too?
60, I think it was like between 66 and 70, something
He
like that.
scored. People don't realize, and Jesse, maybe you can check this, but I'm pretty sure Matthews scored at a 90-point pace.
Yeah.
So, like, he's still
pretty great.
performed pretty well.
Matthews, 67 games played, 33 goals, 45 assists. That's 78 points in 67 games.
78,
Yeah.
67.
There you go.
Pretty good clip.
The expectations for him are so sky high because people are like, oh, you know, like I know his goal scoring obviously went down, but like he was otherwise A-okay.
Yeah. Played great defense. The problem was in the playoffs, we needed more goal scoring.
Yes.
Now,
Yes. That was consistently the problem.
We never gotten a good answer on the shut him down in February and have him return for the playoffs.
that's because
on
the
the
Leafs
Leafs
were
side.
wrong. That's because they were wrong, Jesse.
Like we asked
because
about
they
it.
made a mistake and they won't walk it back.
We also don't know exactly what it was.
Listen. The time between February and the playoffs is the same amount of time,
Take me to
basically,
task.
from the Leafs ending their season to right now. What else do I need to say? They made the wrong call. They deferred to the player. The player, because he's a player, said, no, I want to play.
Right.
Because fucking, of course.
Yeah.
And they didn't go, you know what, Austin? I know you're a player. I love that mentality. My job is not to push you. My job is to corral you, and we need you for the playoffs.
Yeah. Us in the media, we asked about it several times, like when the season was over and all that stuff. And then we got the news of the injury and what that is. And he confirmed all the trips out there to the other side of the world to go fix it. And Steve and Adam are doing things on the side.
He gave me the finger.
He went to Germany.
He went to Germany, and we asked, like, okay, so why didn't you shut him down? And the answer was always Austin week to week wasn't sure about like if he'd be able to play, and when he was ready to play, you don't want to not use Austin Matthews.
Right.
They were never willing to go, we're shutting you down and not using you, even though you're available to us to play.
And their center depth
wanted
was
the
ass.
division. What's that?
Their center depth was ass.
Yes, they wanted the division, even though Tavares was playing really good.
No, but beyond
below
him.
that, yeah. So they don't want to make themselves weaker on the ice when Austin can play. What is it? 10 out of the next 15 games.
Yep.
You know, so that was their mentality about it. But I'll always sit here for the rest of my life because we'll never get a solid answer on what happens if you just shut them down. And you concede that we're going to make the playoffs like the Panthers kind of did down the stretch where Paul Maurice rested the Panthers, and they were pretty bad going into the playoffs. If you remember, everybody was injured. Playoffs hit, shoot them up, and they're all fine again.
Dude,
Who gives a shit, Jesse?
No one cares.
It's an all-time overthinking picking the Lightning.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Yeah.
Can I just?
So I wonder if the Leafs had that mentality, shut them down, concede the regular season, the playoffs are what matters.
Well, they wanted to win the division to avoid the Panthers. LOL. But also, let me throw this at you, Jesse. You will know. You don't have to wonder. I'll tell you why you don't have to wonder. You know why you don't have to wonder about what would have happened? Because you're about to find out this fall.
Okay.
It's the same amount of rest time as February to April. It's the same. So if he comes out on a tear, you'll fucking know, dude.
Imagine.
You'll fucking know. We'll all know.
Puts up 40 goals in October.
And we're like, oh, man. Man, I wonder what the Leafs could have done. Come on. Now, again, I will say, playing Austin and still having him have 33 goals is always beneficial. It's crazy. When great players play, that's good for your team.
That's how they looked at it.
But they also had to go into a trade deadline and that was right after Four Nations, and you're not keeping Austin out of that, and I get that. Okay? Even if it's the right thing for the team, you're not keeping Austin out of that. I get it. Fine. But then after trade deadline, like before trade deadline, you can't rest him because if you do, Scott Laughton's cost goes up. Right? So
and it already wasn't cheap.
It already was a pretty high price.
It can go up from there.
Yeah, but March 7th was trade deadline. March 8th, you could have arrested him, and it didn't matter that Scott Laughton was struggling or they couldn't.
They didn't even play him at center.
Exactly. Exactly. My point is, we'll know this fall. We will know. And I hope he's great, and I hope they were wrong last year because it's not last year anymore. It's this year. And that's what I want them to be right about. Now, number 2 on this list, and this is Jonas Siegel's interesting things that Craig Berube said in his interview because they sat down. Berube said, I think Matthews talked about maybe he thought he was a little too lean last year.
Oh, that's good.
Siegel says, it's noteworthy that Matthews decided to bulk up after last season, feeling the need for extra strength after a season that saw him playing hurt from training camp. What's interesting is that Matthews weighed 217 at the start of last season, which was more than in the previous 4 seasons. So 2021, he weighed 211 pounds, 21-22, 205, 22-23, 208, 23-24, 215, and then last season 217, which tells me he probably lost a little bit of weight throughout the season, as they all do. Secondly, when you get to those playoffs and you see like a guy like Brady Tkachuk, who is a battering ram, and then you see Matthew Tkachuk, if he's healthy, who's a battering ram, or Sam Bennett, or those guys, you need to have old man strength, and he's now getting closer to 30. You need to have a little bit more weight in order to be knocked around, or not be knocked around so much.
That was a Shaq thing with was it Phil Jackson? The plan they came up with for him. I remember him doing an interview about it. They're like, over the course of the season, like we gotta bulk you up. You can't come in at your playoff weight. We're gonna build you up so that when April arrives, you're a certain weight.
Well, and then he went to Miami, and Pat Riley told him to lose weight. And he said no, and they won.
I think Shaq's career. I'll always side with Kobe, and that Shaq's career could have been better if he took training a little more seriously.
Yeah, I think
like Shaq's an all-time great. He's probably top 10 player ever, and he could have been like top 5. And there's a little bit extra he could have had if he just like exercised.
I don't know that. You know what? I feel like top 10 was good enough for him, though.
Yeah, right? 100%. He's satisfied with everything that happened, but like, maybe take your diet a little seriously, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Not if you ask him. Hey, Shaq, what do you think? How do you think you stack up against X player? The fuck you just said?
Yeah. No, he thinks he's the best.
unless there's, I don't know, 5 guys he'll allow you to say, he might fight you.
Yeah. By the way, I think he's my favorite sports personality of all time.
Really?
I love Shaq. I think he's fucking hilarious and also a winner.
Mine's Pierre Maguire.
Pierre Maguire?
No.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
kidding.
You won't be missing those Penguins broadcasts, will you?
Yeah, I'll be
now,
tuned in.
number 3 on the list is talking about who's going to play on Matthews' line. And one of the things that I called for all last season, and they refused to do, was put Max Domi there because they were good the year before.
That's what they're going to do, I think.
And what Berube said was he's going to hold auditions throughout camp. He seemed, according to Siegel, to hint that Domi's going to get first crack, which makes sense because they had success in the past.
I've heard they're on the ice together, have been on the ice together this month.
But, that's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a picture of it.
But, okay. Well, that's interesting. I did not see them.
I heard he saw.
Even better. I got neither. So it's good for me to know too. But Berube did say, I think Max has to change his mindset a little bit, playing with those guys on a consistent basis. What Siegel says is Berube wants a different Domi from the one he got last season if he's going to play with Matthews. A Domi who doesn't always default to passing the puck, which is what we pinned on Mitch Marner because we know Mitch Marner's capable of 40 goals.
Turns out Max can shoot.
And he's a great shot.
Yeah.
Domi takes care. He wants a Domi to take care of the puck a little bit and probably be better defensively.
Here's Matthews and Domi on the ice. Daryl Belfry is the performance coach. Belfry, the performance coach that they work with in the offseason. This was in September.
Are they allowed to do that? Is the NHL allowing that, or are they going to stop?
I think they're going to shut down the Leafs for their players hanging out together. So yeah, they're working out together. I think,
that's awesome.
Steve, you're on the right line of. I think they're priming to get ready to play together.
Yeah, like Michelli might work with him. We've watched Max Domi work with him.
Michelli makes a lot more sense with Nylander and Tavares to me. I do think so, because I think it's a lot of pressure to step onto that Matthews line. I think you got to have some attitude. And
I think it's a lot to be like, hey, you struggled last year with Utah. Here's Austin Matthews.
Right. And Domi's got that, where I thought Max really shone, and there were warts, was in the playoffs. He has a don't give a shit mentality.
In the Sen series, I was surprised by how well he took care of the puck. And there wasn't a ton of Game 7 where it looked like the Leafs might have a chance. Who scored the only goddamn goal? It's Max. They needed to score. They needed to score early. He got it. And there was a brief moment where I was like, there's one. And the Panthers said, here's 4.
And And what I also like about that line, if it works, is the mix of personalities. We'll get to Matthew Knies' quotes in a little bit here, but Austin is understated to the media, but we know off camera he's pretty full of personality, a funny guy, really liked in the dressing room. Matthew Knies is very quickly going to become the most popular Toronto Maple Leaf we've seen in 20 years.
Oh yeah.
This guy is like his quote about, "Hey, it would be weird if fans weren't pissed that we lost."
I'm gonna. If
die
you don't like
for this
Matthew
man.
Knies, I'll beat you up.
Yeah.
I'll fight you.
And
your dad. I'll fight your dad.
And I don't necessarily agree with I think it was Overdrive had it the other day where they're like, well, that's your Mitch Marner replacement. And I'm like, I don't think that's fair.
If you don't like Matthew Knies, I'll fight up to 3 of your uncles.
There you go. I think
the Overdrive discussion was more about the personality standpoint of
Right.
like, here's your next star in place of Mitch Marner, not that he's like on the ice production.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's also true. And I think that there's a guy who every time he's in front of a camera, and this matters in Toronto, says what we need to hear. And that is what you do. That's part of the game.
Yeah, I think you guys were actually saying the same thing. You know, I think you agree with what they're saying. Yeah.
I only saw like a minute clip. So that's not fair to hate you. But I'm curious about Max in that position too, because what it does is it gives you a battering ram in Matthew Knies, who is unbelievable in the playoffs. Max elevated his game in the playoffs. And you then have, no one's going to take a run at Austin Matthews, or they'll try it once. And with Knies and Domi on there, no one's going to touch him.
If he's going to have
a Jamie Benn cross check to the back.
Yeah. It ruined his whole season.
Good night, Jamie Benn.
Matthews needs to be able to stick up for himself. I think that's really important.
Yep.
What's tricky with Matthews, like, you know, something Crosby did early in his career is he fought. And I don't know if he's a great fighter, but he proved that he'll do it. I don't think it's a great idea for Matthews to do that just because of
the purported wrist.
The wrist thing. I wouldn't mind seeing him tomahawk chop someone in the ankle.
Or throw an elbow here or there.
Take out someone's teeth. I don't give a shit. You have full license. And guess what? It's the beginning of the year. Do it. Even better, preseason. Go ahead and get suspended for some preseason games. Room. Knies?
Make room.
Yeah, Knies, Domi, yeah. You have green light, beat up whoever you want. I'm sorry, like, hurting your opponent after watching the Panthers go to 3 straight finals. Boy,
Pretty effective way to do it.
I just can't get worked up about it. I'm supposed to feel bad for you. If you see it, break it. If you see it, smash it. If you see it, hurt it. I don't care.
Now, Nick Robertson is an interesting one. And it's so fascinating because all the line charts we've sort of talked about, we haven't done a lot of that yet because I don't want to jump into that right now. Like, I feel like, especially the mid-August line charts thing, I'm just over that.
Yeah.
But I am excited about it because now we're getting to camp where the rubber hits the road. Jonas Siegel asked about Nick Robertson, and the only quote Berube would give him was, "There's a lot of competition at camp." I'll leave it at that.
I have no idea where he fits.
Well, especially when you've hung on to Kampf and Yarncroke.
Yeah. It seems like throughout Nick Robertson's entire tenure as a Leaf, no one's ever been the biggest fan of him. And that's not
I think Berube likes him.
That's not. I don't think he does. No? I think him saying that there's a lot of competition is him saying that he doesn't have a spot guaranteed.
Did you get?
He
the
doesn't
sense,
believe that.
Did you get the sense from that last year when you were talking to them? Like, what is there anything you could deduce from that?
I don't even think it's a sense of from like talking what they say to the media. I think it's from what they've done with Nick Robertson and playing him. Mm-hmm. He's scratched in the playoffs. Yep. In the most important time of the year, even though he starts the playoffs off well, even though when he's scratching, you bring him back in, he usually scores. They don't trust this man in the highest leverage point of the entire season. I think year in, year out, this guy is somebody who has to earn their way back into the lineup because there isn't just a blanket confidence that this guy should make the team.
The only glimmer of hope he has, so beginning of the Sens series, I thought he looked good. Then he gets scratched for Pacioretty. And I was like, okay, first of all, Max hasn't played. Like, what are you doing? There was a time where that was a crazy decision. And then Max was awesome. But to me, it wasn't, as the series went on, as the playoffs went on, it wasn't about taking Max out and putting Nick back in. I'm like, I would watch more and more often, and I'm like, you're not in over Yarncroke? You, at this point, like, the one glimmer of hope is they might trade that guy. But for God's sake, at this point in your career, like, the natural gifts that you have as a goal scorer, you should be able to be in the lineup over Calle Yarncroke at this point in his career. For God's sake.
With injuries and everything, too. Like, Calle, people gave Calle a hard time last year. And I get he doesn't score in the playoffs. I understand. But
I liked him in the Sen series, and then in Florida, he was useless.
He was, because he's not that same chippiness that you kind of need against Florida.
No, they just swat you away.
100%. But I do think Calle Yarncroke's a good guy you can slot in the bottom six in the regular season.
Trade him.
And he's on an expiring deal.
He might be all right, like, because his regular season performance is typically way better than it was last year. But anyway.
And imagine he had a camp. He missed 6 months.
So right, but Nick Robertson's never had a permanent spot in the Leafs lineup throughout his entire NHL career.
Here's the way I see things shaken down. Remember the Leafs signed Liljegren to his 2-year, $3 million per contract, and we all went, oh,
and then now what do you
he
wear?
might end up on
and we went to go see him in March.
Yes, we did, and he won.
That was why the Sharks invited us down. They're like, hey, we got Timothy.
Yes.
I know you miss him. Come on down.
It was the Timothy Liljegren trip.
Yeah, I noticed they couldn't defend a lead, but they won.
No, wait, Timothy Liljegren was not to be trusted on defense? I was told, and the stats backed up that he could actually.
But I remember
your point about them signing and then trading.
Yeah, well, I remember saying, like, okay, well, it's a new coach, though. So we'll see the impression he makes. And I want to say he played 2 preseason games and was dog shit. He was the worst player on the ice. He was terrible. And it became very quickly, and they made the assertive, quick, not like, hey, let's give him till November or whatever. They're just like, this is bad. Gone. I think that might happen this preseason. If you have a tough couple first games, you're gone.
At $1.8 million, though, he is going to make sense for a lot of teams that are extremely young, extremely thin. I mean, tell me that Kyle Dubas wouldn't at least put in a phone call and go, hey,
sure.
or San Jose, where they've done business before.
Nick Robertson also might make sense on the Leafs.
Yes.
Like, that's a thing that could happen at that price. Like, everything you're saying is something the Leafs might be able to use. It's just Nick Robertson still hasn't proven enough that we know going into camp he has a roster spot.
Extremely frustrating player.
And that's a frustrating.
He's exactly the kind of player where you're like, I don't know if he has a spot in this lineup. And then you're like, oh yeah, let's maybe trade him to the Penguins. And I'm like,
who are going to play him 82 games?
And he's gonna end up playing with like Crosby or Malkin or Raquel.
At least a couple games.
And we're gonna be like, oh shit.
Yeah, they'll play with Malkin.
And he's
Why
gonna
not?
put up 20 goals and we're gonna look stupid.
Well, he put up 15 the last 2 years without a regular lineup spot. He can score. But again, he's going to go to a team probably where there's a spot for him. And I don't know that. I think Berube just said it. I don't know if there's a spot. Now, when it comes to Easton Callan.
On Liljegren, 1 second, he played 1 game for the Leafs last season. Do you remember that?
Wasn't it game 3 or something?
He played game number 4 of the season against the Kings. They won that game 6-2.
And it was him.
13:55, had 2 penalty minutes, 25 shifts, and the rest cardio. 2 blocks.
25 shifts is a lot.
Yeah, for 13:55, yeah. But after that game, did not play again for the Toronto Maple Leafs ever in his career.
Basically 30-second shifts. That makes sense.
So he got
the
one
during the preseason. Okay.
He got that 1 game against the Kings.
Good for him.
And then they pulled the shoot.
One guy I think they're going to keep, if he has a good camp, one guy I think they're going to keep till at least for the first little bit is Easton Callan. And here's what Berube said about it. We need him to get the trust of the coach by playing a simple North game and being that hounder and forechecker and being a difficult guy to play against, being defensively responsible, managing the puck, things like that. So basically, like I keep saying, Travis Konechny, that's got to be his North Star.
A guy who is not big, has never been big, will never be big, played for Team Canada.
Plays big.
Well, just plays asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I've said this for years. Like, you do not need to be a brute. The Panthers are not like overly huge. They're just dicks. They have some big guys. Big. Big. There's no Zdeno Chara on that team.
Big and dick.
Big and, well, I guess Nico Mikkola. But they didn't win the Stanley Cup primarily because of Nico Mikkola. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just play like a dick. Play like an asshole. Play like Doug Gilmour was like one of the most svelte Leafs of his era.
5'11".
Yeah.
On a good day.
Been probably like 120 pounds.
And a fucking maniac.
And a maniac!
He was nuts. Yeah.
Did get killed every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You go back and look at Gilmour's stats when the Flames won the Cup, too. Mm-hmm. He was third on the team in scoring in the regular season, third on the team in scoring in the postseason. And because I think Al McInnes went off. He had like 45 points or something on that run. It was insane.
Might have been goals.
Yeah, Al was nuts. But he was, if you go and actually watch the games, which are available on YouTube, he's nuts. Mm-hmm. He's crazy. He's a lunatic.
I love that outdoor game clip, Philly versus Pittsburgh, when Gensel was on the Penguins. Mm-hmm. And he's just yipping at everyone, and he says, "Take those ear cuffs off," because he should have said earmuffs. He goes, "Take those ear cuffs off, you nerd, you nerd." And Gensel just goes, "Shut up." Why can't you be shut up, guy?
Yeah.
We need someone to be shut up, guy. Yeah. Now, I'm not expecting you to come in as a rookie and be shut up, guy, but yes, like you said, that's your North Star. That's who you can be.
I'm excited that Easton Cowan, it just gets the ability to play on the Marlies. I still think the AHL rules are ridiculous with prospects, and I'm glad that he's finally graduated to, hey, we can play him with some adult men and see how he actually is. So I'm excited for that little 10-year. It reminds me of like the Nylander days when he was down there with the Marlies.
Nylander, Kadri, a little bit. Like,
so we got a little Cowan Marlies. It'll be a fun season down there.
And that'll be a great reason to go see the Marlies.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a few games at the start of the year. And then they'll go, Easton, we're going to get you 1 million minutes of ice time in the A. Mm-hmm. And then come March, they're going to, post-trade deadline, they're going to have a real hard look at him and go, is he good enough? They'll try him again. And then he'll either be on the playoff roster or he won't.
I'm not too interested in him being a healthy scratch too many times.
That's the point.
Oh, no.
Right?
I think like it's been a little bit since Leafs fans have had the young prospect on the Marlies that you can go see, and you're like, oh, I might get a Easton Cowan Marlies jersey. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm taking my kid to that game, and I'm going to sit there with Leo, and we're going to watch the Marlies, and Cowan's going to be
I'm trying to think of the last one.
Yeah, you would know like who's the last couple ones that went out there, you know, because I remember Willie being there, and that was awesome. But
the 2016 Marlies team was so...
It was a good team.
Yeah.
So special. I know they won it in 2018, but like those were with... It wasn't with a ton of prospects.
No.
Their champion prospects were Travis Dermott and Andreas Janssen. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
the 2016 team had freaking Connor Brown, Zach Hyman, William Nylander, Kasperi Kapanen, I want to say was a healthy scratch.
Oh, no.
Nikita Soshnikov was on that team. They had
Connor Carrick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Connor Carrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had so many guys.
They did.
So exciting times in the organization.
Yes.
One thing that the Leafs did not do under Dubas and Shanahan, part of this was just insane contract logjam they were in, was they couldn't have competition for spots. They had everything every year was locked up, and you knew where everybody was going to play, which made the roster projections so boring, right? It's like, well, we know.
Yeah, the salary cap was down to a literal dollar. Do you remember when we did that? It was $1. So, of course, there's no roster move.
Zach Aston Reese is going to be a Leaf. We just don't know what his contract is yet because we have no idea how much money they're going to have.
Exactly.
Berube said there's jobs available, and again, it's a competition. You got to come and play your ass off and earn a spot. And Jonas Siegel says there's 11 locks up front. Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Michelli, Domi, Nyes, Joshua, Nicholas Waugh, Scott Lawton, Stephen Lorentz, and Bobby McMahon. But remember... Bobby McMahon.
I think he's wrong.
I think Bobby McMahon is not a lock.
I think he's wrong. And Michelli was a healthy scratch for how many games last year?
Yeah, I think that he's probably a lock for an NHL spot.
He's going to make
that's
team.
What he's talking about.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, like you're going to be in the top 12.
Yeah, like McMahon is going to make the team, but he might not play opening night.
Really?
He didn't last year.
He did get.
I
goals.
love Bobby McMahon, but
I like Bobby McMahon.
I like Bobby McMahon too. I think he just had to adjust to Craig Berube's style versus Sheldon Keefe's style. right? Which was a big adjustment for certain players. Look at Morgan Riley. I don't think he ever fully adjusted.
I wanted more from him in the playoffs, and it wasn't just offensively.
Well, because he's got the size, he's got the speed, and he can score.
Yeah.
And you wonder
Throw it around.
Where is the bottom six power forward archetype that they expect him to be in those games?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to throw it around. So, and then obviously there are 2 or 3 spots for Robertson, Cowan, Kampf, and Calle Yarncroke, and maybe somebody else who emerges out of camp who surprises some people we don't really know. And then
Pacioretty?
Well, so I think Pacioretty, wherever he goes, is not signing until January. Because Alan was the one to say it, and he said, you're going to see this a lot with older guys. Some of them are just going to sit on the sidelines. He's like, what do they need to play the first 3 months for?
Alan's good at saying stuff without saying stuff.
Yeah. And he said, I think it's going to be a league-wide thing, not just Allen clients. Like, I think it's going to be guys like that. Like, I can see when Patrick Kane gets to like 38, 39 years old. Does Patrick Kane need to play October, November, December hockey?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, and even Patches, like, not every player can just walk in and do it.
Patches is in incredible shape.
Yeah, like I was like, really? You're putting him in a playoff game? Oh, he's sick. Okay, never mind.
He was a standout for them. And then I thought the last one...
Adam, Patrick Kane will be 37 in November playing November hockey.
Well,
that's crazy.
Okay, fine. 38 then. Does he really need to?
Next season.
Like the cap is there to do it. I use Patrick Kane as...
It was a bad example, but I think your point is correct in that like it's such a great strategy by Pacioretty. You sit around, you stay in shape, and then you go join a playoff contender and you play playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care about 82 games. He needs 10 at the end of the regular season and then the playoffs.
He also has 40 kids.
Yeah,
so he might want to be at home with his 40 kids.
And they all play hockey.
Yeah, rather than hey Max, we're going to need you at the arena this morning in Toronto, and you're probably going to get healthy because we want to give this young guy a shot. Like, no, he's probably like, I would rather take my kids to hockey, go work out, watch the games on TV, and see who's got a really good shot.
Between him and Tavares, they have a full line, a goalie, a ref, and a linesman. It's crazy.
And then the last one, and I thought this was also very interesting. I like Craig Berube as a coach. Like, I like what he says. I like that the organization, and Sheldon Keefe got unfairly pigeonholed with this, because Sheldon, every time he said something that was remotely interesting, you could tell the from on high came down and said, don't you dare, and you go apologize to that player for telling the truth about them.
Which player?
Every player. And Berube, I want you to imagine
which
something.
player, Steve?
I want you to imagine.
Probably Jimmy Vesey.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to imagine trying, even Brendan Shanahan trying to tell Craig Berube that. Like, you know what Craig Berube looks like. He's an intimidating man. He also seems extremely friendly. But I feel like all he has to do is say nothing if you tell him that, and you go, you're right, Craig, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm. It was not an accident that when Keith Pelly did one of his Leafs or the only Leafs press conference he did last season, that he talks about how he spoke directly to Craig Berube when he landed, and he's like, Brad Shaliving was away in Calgary, and I had dinner with Craig Berube.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Keith said, I'm the new guy in charge, and Craig said, do you feel in charge?
That was the Brendan Shanahan is fired press conference, and like Berube has a lot of clout in this organization, and nobody's really going around telling them what to do. Everything's done in collaboration.
Yeah.
So then what did I want to say here? It was, yes. And this is something that I hit on last year with you guys, especially after Marner left. I have thought it for years that it's ridiculous that the Leafs had 3 assistant captains. And the reason they named 3 assistant captains is because the organization was bending over backwards to not show favoritism to one star over another, because it might have hurt someone's feelings.
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
It doesn't mean that the player was a bad player.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't mean that they're not a good person.
He got an A. I want an A. It's literally how this team was run.
That was how it was going to go.
You're talking about Morgan?
No.
That was how it was going to go.
Obviously, Morgan.
So, and it's not that the player was a bad person. It's not that they weren't a good leader. It's not that,
Morgan's
but that
a great
happened.
person.
Morgan Riley and John Tavares will be the assistant captains this year.
There you go.
And Berube said whether or not that changes, it could, but right now it's not. And of course it's not. Mm-hmm. Morgan Rielly's the longest tenured Leaf, and as much as I was like, hey, I think it might be time to move on from Morgan Rielly, he's here. He doesn't want to go. And maybe I should appreciate that more, because I believe my understanding is they may have asked him about it, and he said, no fucking way, man. I'm staying here.
I think he likes it here, and he usually steps his game up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he had a bad moment, I think, Game 7.
But he did have some
Morgan had a terrible end of playoffs.
I mean, let's here. Do you have like a fortune cookie that we can write the list of Leafs who had a good Game 7?
That's fair.
Fuck.
My point is with Morgan Rielly,
What?
if he can,
I tried to think of the smallest piece of paper I could.
Why don't you just say, why don't we take the smallest piece of paper out?
How about we take out no piece of paper and write into the air, no name.
Tattoo on your body, how many people had a great Game 7?
No, let's see, that doesn't work. My body's big. It's a big canvas.
Yeah.
Oh, I
it
guess.
doesn't
But
work.
you wouldn't have to get a tattoo is my point.
Oh.
You see?
Pain-free day.
That was good. That was good.
So all I'm going to say here is I think the leadership group sounds pretty good. McCabe and Tanev are clearly leaders in the dressing room as well. And I don't think they give a shit about having a letter.
A letter does not make a difference.
And all of the guys on this team who have a letter have been here for, well, Morgan Rielly's case, over a decade. Tavares and Matthews coming up on or just about a decade. So,
That's crazy to me.
you know, that's a stable leadership group, which has not happened since Matt Sundin.
Is it still weird Tavares is a Leaf?
A little bit.
Yeah, right? Yeah, a little bit.
It's a miracle that we're at this point where he makes so little and he's gone through everything with the team where they take the captaincy away from him and all that and the big signing. And we sit here today and everything's kind of fine.
Yep.
It's a testament to him as an individual and a person.
Yep.
That is a stand-up man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good dude.
We're going to take the COA. Oh, well, I'm leaving. Oh, you want me to stay? Well, then I'm asking for...
Less.
Even though I could have gone to free agency and made like 8.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the meme where it's a dude, he's like, I asked my landlord to raise my rent so I can hustle harder. that feels like John Tavares. Where it's like, pay me less, take away my captaincy. I need some motivation this year.
I doubled the kale salads this summer.
Yeah, the kombucha keg in my house.
John Tavares, he's such a great guy to have in this organization.
Yeah.
I love him.
And you know what? His career arc with Toronto, I think, went as it should. He was the top guy in terms of pay for a long time. And then when he wasn't, it was time for him to take a step back to a lesser role. And his pay is not reflective of his play last year. Let's just be honest.
I know.
He took a hometown discount.
Take a lesser role. Okay, do you mind if I score 39?
Yeah.
Or 38 or whatever. Well, I could have got closer to 40. I'm sorry.
But I love and respect this man. Here's another guy like Morgan Rielly. I ain't fucking leaving. And we need, after the playoffs last year and the way the Florida Panthers trolled the Leafs afterwards, the way that, Yandel, former Panther, is trolling the Leafs now. Oh, they ran Marner out of town, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. You need guys who want to be here. This has been an extraordinarily stable organization, which has seen a ton of regular season success. The leadership group has been intact, like I said, for a decade. That is something the Toronto Maple Leafs could not do for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And they've done it. And that is excellent. Would love to see some more success in the playoffs. I think everybody agrees on that. But I do feel like if there's a couple of players available next summer who are looking to come to an organization that's got a pretty good culture, you could sell that. And it brings me to this, which you guys do not know because it just broke.
Oh, okay.
Frank Saravalli is reporting that Minnesota Wild superstar Kirill Kaprizov has not signed a contract, but instead turned down an 8-year, $128 million.
Holy shit!
That's $16 million AAV. And need I remind you all that 8-year contracts very, very soon are going to be illegal, as in this year, in a few days.
5 days.
In 5 days.
He turned down what?
That's what the sources are saying. He would have been the highest paid player in NHL history.
By a wide margin.
Didn't Joe Sakic make like 12 or 13 million back in the
I
day?
want to say 17.
Okay, so maybe not the highest paid player in NHL history. In the cap era.
But it was like a 1-year thing.
Regardless, that's the highest paid player in the league ever. But if that's true, and again, That's the sources that Frank has. I feel like that means that Kirill is maybe taking a page out of the shorter term, higher AAV notebook if he doesn't care about an 8-year, $128 million contract.
How old is he?
I think he's 29. I'm going to look it up.
And just a correction, the CBA rule about the 7 and 8 year contracts goes in effect next season.
Oh, it does. Okay, so he's got all year to do that.
It is not September 16th this year. It's September 16th next year.
He's 28.
Yeah.
He would be 29 when this contract would kick in. So what it shows you is the Kaprizov camp's not screwing around. And there's another guy, and Edmonton fans, I had some in my DMs going, how come you're not talking about Kirill? Well, because it's not Edmonton and it's not the best player in the world. But
It's
Kirill
a story
is
now.
one of the top 10 best players in the world, easily.
If he doesn't get hurt last year, he might have won the Hart.
Of course. And what happened to the Minnesota Wild when he left? I would say
Nothing good.
They were right neck and neck with Winnipeg until he went down.
They were very, very very strong.
Him getting injured in December made his Hart case even more apparently valid. Like the way they were destroyed by not having him in the lineup, it made it clear that he was one of the best players in the league.
Well, and Jesse, doesn't that also make his negotiation power better?
Yes, they need him desperately.
Okay.
And I know there's a team in their division who are dying to play him with Connor Bedard. The Blackhawks want this guy so fucking bad. And of course they do.
I mean, everyone.
Yeah, but the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
You talk about a franchise-changing signing. What do you want, Kirill? We'll just fill in the blank. What do you want?
Wow.
And Bill Guerin's got to contend with that. That's tough.
So here's what I got to say about that. So it's a $128 million deal.
I wonder if you're him, are you just saying like, well, yeah, but in a couple of years, 16 million is not even going to be top 5 in the NHL.
Yeah, but how long are you going to be worth that amount of money? Time comes for everyone.
Yes, but if the cap goes up the way it's been going up, because the NHL is making more money, proportional, like percentage-wise on the cap, I would imagine that that's a fair deal all the way through, even if his plays falls off, because his percentage against the cap is going to shrink every year of that deal.
I don't think this is an insane thing to say because he is legitimately that good of a player. Mm-hmm. If he's turning that down, you need to seriously look at trading him because that's a shitload of money for a long number of years for a player with an injury history. Mm-hmm. That's a really sizable commitment. I understand the logic. Mm-hmm. I get it. There's no guarantee he takes the 2-year deals or whatever for the rest of his career and recoups that $128 million.
I 100% agree. And one guy I think about when I think about this situation is Vladimir Tarasenko. Because remember, he had that big monster deal he signed in 15-16 for $7.5 million per year for 8 years with the St. Louis Blues. When he went after 21-22, he had 82 points in 75 games, 34 goals, 48 assists, right? He was able to sign a contract that summer. And didn't, and then got injured the next year. And he has made good money since. I'm looking at, he made 7.5 with the Rangers, and then 5 with the Senators, and then 5 with the Panthers that same year, obviously because he was traded, and then 4.75. But it ain't anywhere near where he would have been had he signed the extension early afterwards.
John Klingberg. John Klingberg signs the extension that he was offered by the Stars, which I think was rumored to be 8 times 8. Do they make it to the 3 straight conference finals that they've been to? I think all since he's been gone. I can't remember if he went to any of those. I think he was part of the Cup final team.
He was, and he was a big part of the Cup final team.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And this is a player with, guys, injury history. He does have some injury history,
and you're not... The back half of that deal could be a nightmare. You don't know. Wow, I think that's very fair. I mean, this is 2025. This clip could age terribly, but in 8 years, is he going to be worth $16 million? Is he going to be worth close to it? And how much more by turning down this deal do you really think you're going to get? That's what. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Jesse, what do you think?
Oh man.
What do you do if you're Bill Guerin? What do you do?
It's interesting that he says that they turned down the deal yesterday. I think if Frank was reporting that the deal was turned down maybe earlier in the summer, it'd be a little different. But considering they turned it down yesterday, it's quite shocking. And I think it reveals that no matter how much money they're willing to pay, I guess there is probably a number, but if the market and the team isn't a fit, like they can't convince you to stick around.
Yeah.
And if he wants a shorter term deal and in a different city, then you can't just say, hey, here's $16 million over 8 years and just say you have injury history, take it. If Kaprizov wants to play somewhere for 5 seasons for a lot of money in New York or in Nashville or Florida or wherever it is, like just because the Minnesota Wild want him at this number and it's a goofy number and it's all that, doesn't mean like Kirill's motivations outside of money are there for him to stick around.
Yeah. And you look at some of the teams that
and there's no insight on that with this.
No, but you look at the teams that might be available. I said Chicago. I mean, Florida is in on everybody, but I feel like they've made their commitment. It'd be pretty hard to fit him in, but they'll figure it out. Bill Zito's a madman. One team that I am looking at a lot is San Jose. Because you've got a window here with San Jose where Celebrini, Smith, Eklund's already signed his extension. They just signed Michael Misa to his entry-level contract today. If they're bad this year, potentially Gavin McKenna too. And then, hey, Kirill, come on down. And you've got a window there before all those guys sign their big fat extensions. And frankly, they're probably still going to be able to afford them, where Kirill could jump into that.
Mm-hmm. Imagine he signs for 1 year. Just, we'll see. Let's try it.
If I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, I'm really disappointed at this news. Like, because if he wanted to be there and you want to be a Wild for life, this is enough money to do that. Like, this is the contract you've been asking for. Here it is. And him saying no to that speaks volumes about his thoughts on sticking around long term as a Wild.
This is the clearest indicator we've received that we now live in a different world than we did a few months ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of those deals that were signed July 1st for not top tier players, we were like, oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. The highest paid player in the NHL makes $14 million this year. And that's Leon. And we went, oh, wow. Holy cow. Kirill Kaprizov, who is one of the best players in the league, but is not year in, year out the best player in the league. That's Connor McDavid. Turning down being the highest paid player in the NHL this year by $2 million. Mm-hmm. What on earth does he want?
Well, could he be waiting for McDavid to sign his? And then grading
what on earth is Connor's?
Well, I don't know if Connor's got the same. Remember, different team, different priorities. Different priorities. I don't know. Connor has said it's winning. Kirill hasn't said much.
Right.
We don't know.
Those are the questions I'm asking right now on turning down this deal because the money's there. Like, his motivation can't just be money because the money is being offered to him forever. 8 years is a long time to make $16 million. So there's got to be other motivations, and it might just be not playing in Minnesota, or it might be I want to just be on a shorter term deal so I can re-sign for more money later. Maybe it's for more money.
Was Leon's contract 8 years?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Leon.
He went from being on the best contract in the league to maybe being on the best contract in the league.
I feel like that contract's going to get Nathan McKinnon.
If that's where this is going.
Look at what Nathan McKinnon gave up. You think 12.5 is fair for Nathan McKinnon?
Oh, God.
What do you think Cale Makar's going to get? Because he's due an extension here in the next year.
Like, who are the best players in the league? Like, for me, every conversation obviously has Connor McDavid in it.
Sidney Crosby, Makar, McKinnon.
Crosby's not in it anymore. The best player.
If Matthews is healthy, if he's 70 goal form or 69 goal form, he didn't get to 70. Like
Cale is in it.
That was really disrespectful to Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I know.
You think he's the best player in the world?
He's in the conversation.
If Pittsburgh was not going to come for you now,
top
then now
5
they're
player in the
coming
world today.
Yeah. Sidney Crosby's in that conversation.
I love Sid.
If you saw him in the
playoffs,
saw him in the playoffs, I feel like it might change your.
I saw him at Four Nations. He's in the conversation,
and he was injured at Four Nations, and he was amazing, right?
He's in the conversation. Like, you gotta include him in the conversation.
You know what? It's an Olympic year, so therefore you're right.
Sing the anthem.
You're right. Yeah, I'm gonna sing the anthem. Go Sid.
Got a T-shirt with Mark Carney's face on it.
Why not? Why not?
Elbows up.
Elbows up.
I am. This is a new world. And I
Did you know he was a goalie? Sorry.
I thought Brock Besser.
Does he like the Oilers?
He does.
Yeah.
I thought Brock Besser was going to set the market for wingers a little bit last year because I thought he was going to market, and I thought he was going to get 8.5, which is probably what he could have got.
Hero just turned down more than double what.
Well, but what I'm saying is they would have said, well, if Brock's worth this, then I'm worth this much more, right?
Yeah.
And Brock Besser as a UFA could have got more than he got, but he wanted to stay in Vancouver, and I respect that. But I also kind of look at Brock, I'm like, Brock, I don't know if you recognize the world that we're living in here, partner. You didn't have to do that. 7.5 is great. It could be 8.5, 9 come next summer. You could have signed short term. And I think because it was, and I use Brock Besser's name because last year's free agency after Marner was garbage.
Dud.
It was a dud.
Ehlers
So who's the next best player? Well, yeah, Ehlers in Carolina or Besser. Like it wasn't like an all-star thing.
Tavares.
Kirill just set the market, a new market.
Ironically, Adam, that's where Connor McDavid is from. Newmarket.
Oh, hilarious.
And so it all ties back.
Hiss and boo. Okay. Dustin Wolf also set a market, $7.5 million as a goaltender. That's a 7-year, $52.5 million extension. You know, a lot of teams are not spending $7.5 million on both goalies.
Right.
And
Right.
Dustin Wolf is worth every penny.
Oh my God, that contract should age like wine.
Yeah.
And I think the reason there's not a ton of guys who you should sign to enormous money on their second contract. You should sign him to enormous money on a second contract.
Especially goalies, you just never know. But he's, to
Yeah.
me, their next Mikko Kaprizov.
Yeah, like the only damn, that's high praise. The only reason that number is as low as it is because you're buying so many RFA years.
Yep.
Unreal contract. Unreal contract for a guy who might win you a Vezina trophy
He was second in Calder voting last year.
at some point.
At some
Relax.
second in Calder voting last year. If the team could score, they'd have made the playoffs.
He was the only reason they were even sort of competitive.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that it's probably for the Flames going to get harder before it gets easier because Rasmus Andersson's name is out there, has been out there. He's not staying in Calgary. I don't know. You know, it depends on who you ask. Some people will say, well, he just wants to move on from the Flames organization. Other people will say the Flames don't want to pay him what he thinks he's worth. I don't know what it is, okay? Because I've heard both. But what is interesting are his comments to Eric Francis and Salim Valji yesterday in media. So Salim Valji says, on reports that Rasmus Andersson only had eyes for a small number of teams to sign an extension with, he said he'd never handcuffed Craig Conroy and denied those reports. Now, Eric Francis kind of dove a little bit deeper, and I'm just going to pull up the clip here. Yeah. Here's what Andersson said. He said, the thing that bothers you is fake information that comes out. I saw some reports that said I would only sign for one team and this and that. I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. Connie and I, I'm assuming that's his wife, have had a few... Oh, no, Connie. Connie has Craig Conroy.
Craig Conroy.
I thought he was wife named Connie. Connie and I have had a few conversations over the summer, and I would never handcuff him and only give him one team. So here's the problem with what he's saying.
Bless you, Adam. That was awesome.
Here's the problem with what Rasmus Andersson's saying. Rasmus Andersson, everybody said he'll sign an extension with one team, which hurt his trade value at the deadline last year enough that the Flames were like, listen, we're going for it. We should make it. We can make the playoffs. Let's not trade him. But in the long term, not trading him there with a year left on his deal at a really respectable, it's like $4.5 million. It's crazy.
Preposterous.
Not trading him there will hurt his value this year.
Wait, what was the one team? Did I miss that?
Vegas.
Oh, sorry.
Of course it's Vegas.
He wants to sign in Vegas, or at least that's... And by the way, who can blame him?
And they got a giant old vacancy on right D because they don't have Petro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, they can't fit him this year, but they probably could next year. And so what he's saying is...
They have a blueprint for very obviously wanting a player and just simply waiting until he becomes a free agent and getting him anyway.
Yeah. And I think probably... Hey, I wouldn't be shocked if he ended up there. Mm-hmm. But I think the idea that he's saying, well, I never handcuffed Craig Conroy. Rasmus Andersson would have accepted a trade. He would have accepted a trade. He would have been traded. But the acquiring team wants to be sure, as you would expect, that he will sign an extension. And it's pretty clear with a guy at $4.5 million for a playoff round or a few playoff rounds last year and hopefully a few playoff rounds this year, because that's how you're looking at it if you're a playoff bound GM. Hey, that's a great fit. But if he's not going to sign here, that's going to be hard for me to pay what Craig Conroy wants. So maybe Rasmus Andersson isn't handcuffing Craig Conroy. Maybe Craig Conroy is going, I'm trying to get maximum value and I'm handcuffed by the situation. And it's not Rasmus going, screw you, Craig, only trade me to Vegas.
It's always so damn noisy in Calgary.
It is. It has been since Conroy took over. It has.
Who's their AGM?
Dave Nonis.
Dave Nonis.
Yeah, that's a leaky ship. There's no question. But I think what Rasmus Andersson's saying here is objectively true, but I still want people to understand that I don't believe that Craig Conroy isn't handcuffed. I don't think Rasmus Andersson is doing it. I think the way Craig Conroy is looking at this handcuffs him.
This is going to be, yes, I agree with that. I think this is going to be an enormously noisy September.
Yes. And I don't think he gets traded till the trade deadline, if at all. If they go to the playoffs, but they got to get something, right? They got to get something, right?
He's talked too openly. Like, remember, like very early on in the show, we were talking about Sid and like, oh, he opened the door. And he opened the door by saying almost nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a lot more than almost nothing.
The captain of the Flames is like, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone. Where is he going?
Should we do a 32-part series?
I think we should. 32 things
I'm going to say
about.
one RD he fits on. He fits at one RD.
Are we being softened up to the very shitty return the Flames are going to get for this person? That's kind of what this reeks of, doesn't it? I mean, he's going. You have to listen to what we've been told by the player, by his friends.
And if you're a general manager and you know he's going, you're like, yeah, Craig, unless there's some sort of guarantee he's signing here, I'm not giving you much.
Unless some outrageous competition, enters the... Well, no, again, it's up to the player. I tell you what.
It's not really, though. Like, they can trade him.
If he ends up with another team, we owe Rasmus an apology. If he ends up with Vegas, he has to shut up forever.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair.
And then you can stare at us like he does after he scores a goal.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one thing Vegas is so shit at is keeping anything a secret.
Oh.
Can you guys just shut up and kiss?
Yeah.
I think this is Craig Conroy doing. It's almost pre-damage control is what this.
I'm wondering though with Vegas's cap situation how I just don't think they can do it this year.
So they're already cartoonishly over the cap.
Yeah.
Once they put Pietrangelo on LTIR, they're fine. Mm-hmm. But then you add Andersson, and they're like $3 million back into not fine.
And he has a 6-team no-trade list. So it's basically the rest of Canada and or Buffalo.
Yeah.
So he can be traded anywhere.
He's going to Vegas, guys. Like, what are we doing?
Well, and if he doesn't go to Vegas, then we'll apologize. But you have to sign there, wherever you go. You got to sign someone other than Vegas before you get this apology. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Looking at Vegas is cap-friendly, Puckpedia right now. I'm going to do that forever for the rest of my life. When do we start the Jack Eichel conversation? If we're doing Corral, if we're doing McDavid, if we're doing Crosby, when do we start Jack Eichel as UFA at the end of this season?
So Frank had a rumor about that. I think it was Frank that said they think it'll land somewhere in the $13 million range. So if that's the case, really, that's only $3 more million than they're already paying him. So you have to look at that against the cap and go, well, it's only an extra $3 million and the cap goes up X%. And hey, how long is Mark Stone going to play?
That Dorofeyev contract too. That guy's going to get paid.
Yeah.
Mark Stone, I'm telling you.
I
said it before. I wouldn't be shocked.
Does it not smell of Alex Pietrangelo maybe after this year?
Either that or they just trade him. Can you imagine?
But
they
he's
have
got
like
a no move.
$20 million.
He's got the anchor. He's got the no move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey.
He might move though.
Yeah. Because they'll be like, yeah, you're just like the way Vegas plays things is like, that's nice. You're just not welcome
cool. We'll
here.
waive you.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way. If Vegas time and time again gives up pennies on the dollar for players.
Mm-hmm.
If I get to keep Jack Eichel in his prime and ditch your 9.5 as a diminishing asset, they'll do it. They'll waive him. I still think he's an all-world player. He's probably going to be at the Olympics if he's healthy.
That's the big key, though.
If he's healthy, but if you're doing the shuffle game that the Golden Knights, have to do to make this cap situation work, that's the obvious answer to me.
I agree.
Like, I don't think you're ditching Hanifin. I don't think you're ditching Theodore.
No.
We already know they don't want to ditch Theodore.
You're sticking with Hurdle.
I mean, Hurdle at that dollar amount, which is
insane.
under 7, with Kaprizov turning down 16, is pretty good. Like, to me, I mean, I don't think he's going to get traded now, obviously, but
Justin, throw that back up, because like the forward group, it's getting, I guess with the cap going up, you're not so concerned about the $5 million, $5.9, $6.7 million forwards you got there, but that's that area that I'm not comfy with.
Yeah.
Alexander Holtz isn't even signed.
It's the unimpressive middle.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
always been a thing in the cap for the NHL.
Hurdle's going to play up to that value at 6.75. Like, I'm not too concerned. And I guess William Karlsson's been so good that they've done a decent job, but then we're getting to you're paying Mitch Marner 12, and then you're getting Jack Eichel at 13. You're paying the high end guys. I don't know. There might never be cap trouble in Vegas because of how willing they are to get rid of guys. So I guess when you look at their cap page and you're like, ooh, how do you fit all the money? It doesn't really matter because they're willing to move off a player.
Can you scroll down to their DM?
And I
don't even remember who. Akira Schmid. Oh. I could see them claiming a goalie off waivers.
For anybody listening, it's Petra at 8.8. It's Shea Theodore 7.4. Noah Hanifin 7.3. Braden McNabb 3.6. White Cloud 2.7. Lozon at 2. Hutton at 9.75.
And Lozon's retained from Nashville, isn't he? Like, wasn't he making 4 and he's making 2 now?
I'm not totally sure.
Or they got him.
I honestly, that is a downright reasonably priced decor,
especially with Pietrangelo never playing again.
Yeah,
and I look at
you could afford to add Andersson to that decor, but you're spending so much up front. Man, Hill at 6.25, huh?
Till 2031.
Oh boy.
Well, he won the cup.
Yeah, he did, and that was ancient history. If you're the Vegas Golden Knights,
Yeah.
Sounds like, you know what? How about you play in Pack Your Shitville?
And
you know
Dustin
what?
Wolf got more than that.
Yeah, yeah, but you could always call the Buffalo Sabres. Say, do you need a goalie? No, he's probably got a no trade. But I look at some of the more depth forwards that the Vegas Golden Knights have. So Eichel obviously will probably make 13 or 14. Although if Kaprizov is turning down 16, maybe that number just changed today. It would change for me. Wow. With Saad and who's the other guy they have? Saad,
a lot of $2 million guys.
Brett Howden.
And Brett Howden had a good year.
2.5, Howden 2.5, Riley Smith 2, Saad 2, Dorofeyev 1.8.
Without Nicholas Waugh, you can't move on from Brett Howden because Brett Howden had 23 goals last year.
No, you're looking at Kolasar or Saad, I guess.
Well, Saad's going to be gone after this year. He's a UFA.
Yeah,
or he'll sign.
If you add Andersson, you're in trouble this year.
No, you're not. I don't think they're moving. I don't know how they would do it this year unless somebody's on LTIR all year.
I think they're doing it.
And the LTIR, Jesse, I know you did a video on this. The LTIR rules officially changed now?
Yes, this season the LTIR rules are going to be different because of how the playoff salary.
Do you know and can you re-explain them? How the new LTIR rules are? It's sort of like you can only get 50% of a player value unless they sit the entire season, is my understanding.
Yeah, you can't accrue cap space on a player's salary the same way as you could before. So Brad Marchand's cap hit, it was $6.1 million, the best example, with the way Florida got him. You wouldn't be able to get him at that cap calculation where it's like, hey, his percentage of salary from March 7th to the end of the season is what now counts against the percentage of his cap. It's now just the full cap hit.
Got it.
It's now what they are making is the simplest terms I can put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's a Golden Knight within the next month. I do. I'm telling you. They're going to move on from one of those guys so incredibly easily.
Who do you think they? Okay,
I'm on Steve's side.
if they build a Rasmus Andersson to Vegas trade where the extension's done, because I would imagine both sides know what the extension's going to look like. Who comes off the roster? Do you trade a Brett Howden?
Yeah, the extension. Yeah, that's difficult.
Because you need. Well, no, it's not that difficult. You figure that out. But you need to have that done.
Yeah.
Before Vegas does that. But like, Calgary is going to have to take money back. So you need to work.
They can probably afford.
You need to take. I mean, what Anderson's making $4.5. You need to take $4.5 million or more. Don't help Vegas unless they pay you a lot.
Well, yeah, like why
Don't
is
help
Calgary doing them a favor?
Well, because they could probably get whatever great assets plus some players now, plus, like if you're helping them and you're doing them a favor and you're preventing them from going over the cap, then maybe you can.
That's a divisional rival you might play in the first round of the playoffs if you have aspirations of making it.
Okay, and that's great.
Yeah.
But we can't run our team and our 5-year projections based on this year like that. If you're the Calgary Flames, Vegas can. They're trying to win the cup now. But is it? Like Riley Smith just signed there. Are you trading Riley Smith?
No.
Brandon Saad just got there. Are you trading Brandon Saad? Are you trading a Brett Howden, who is a center who's under contract for the next 5 years at $2.5 million? That's pretty valuable. Scored 23 goals last year.
Man.
Yeah. And the way the LTIR stuff works with Petro is you're not just getting that $8.8 million unless he doesn't play the regular season and the playoffs. If he's done for both of those, then you get that full cap hit. But if he comes back in either of those instances, you only get $3.82 million. That's the league average is what they give the team. So that's the new rule. So it's not like you just throw him there and you get $8.8 million and then he comes back for the playoffs. He's got to be done.
He's done though.
Yeah.
He is not playing.
Mm-hmm. But there's no hack here for Mark Stone going LTIR because you're only getting $3.8 million. But maybe there's
enough for Vegas.
Right. I don't know if they can use that to then move off of a player and then get at Andersson. So that might be enough for them.
I hope Tom Parashka's Stanley Cup ring is the size of a sewer grate. He deserves it.
Yes.
He was general manager for anybody that doesn't know.
Yes.
That's a deep cut. You got to.
He's general
manager was like 7 years ago now, so you have to tell people that, Steve. Okay.
So before Cap Friendly,
it was
general manager, and then it went offline.
And hey, what happened?
Didn't work for the Golden Knights.
Vegas bought it. Just like Washington bought Cap Friendly.
They took it offline.
Right.
You sons of guns.
Yep.
And he experienced unprecedented failure.
That means...
Wait, no, they've been great pretty much the whole time.
Stanley Cup for the Capitals this season because they have Cap Friendly. Right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We love those guys. I hope they're having a good time behind the scenes there. Okay, so you know what? We've done 2 hours here. Let's wrap it up.
Oh!
That was a fun show. I told you Monday was going to be light, and then everything else was going to be bonanza. I didn't expect Kaprizov, though.
That is the most alarmed I've ever been by the end of the show. I did not know. I thought we were going to do another half hour.
Nope. We're done.
Why not?
Till Friday. We'll be back Friday.
No.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at AdamWYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.